Hello guys, welcome to the Shadow Manhwa Teller channel. At the beginning of the story, our main character says, everything was fine until 2026, but then, one day, a catastrophe struck, one so terrifying that humanity had no power to fight back. From deep within the earth, monstrous creatures began emerging, giant insect-like beings, the size of buildings. They would appear suddenly, without warning, and completely destroy major cities. Later, we found out that portals had opened between our world and another dimension. Through these portals, these monsters entered our realm. These rifts were named the Abyss, because they connected to a world where powerful monsters lived. In an attempt to survive, humanity distanced itself as far as possible from the Abyss. But the real twist came when it wasn't just monsters that came from the Abyss, radiation did too. That radiation began granting certain humans powers strong enough to fight these beasts. Those who gained such powers were later called awakeners. As for the ones who couldn't awaken, they were treated like trash. Even though they were still human, the weakest were forced to take the dirtiest, most dangerous jobs. I'm one of them, Jungo, a nobody. My job? Lifting these heavy monster corpses into trucks. I get slapped around by my senior so he can vent his frustration, and despite everything, I can't even get angry, because I lost the right to be angry long ago. Being weak takes that from you. Honestly, these seniors don't even see us as human. Their superiors yell at them, so they take it out on us. But what can we do? If we try to stand up for ourselves, we'll lose even this job, and without it, we might not even get food to survive. One day, my captain growled, I want every single body gone by today, or don't expect to eat again. Just as I started moving a corpse, the ground suddenly began to shake, and to my horror, I saw that one of the monsters was still alive. Panicked, the captain shouted, how the hell is one still alive? Everyone immediately started running. The captain thought to himself, if I keep running like this, I'll fall behind. Just running won't save me. And then, he shot me in the leg. As I fell, I yelled, Captain, why did you do that? He replied coldly, you're just a lowly worker. If you die here, no one will care. But if something happens to me, who'll lead the team? That's when it hit me. He used me as bait. Everyone else was strong enough to escape, but since I'm the weakest, they left me behind to die. Honestly, I never wanted much from this world. I just wanted to survive. But even that, humanity couldn't give me. As I wept, something crawled onto my hand. I looked at it and muttered, damn, even these cockroaches have better luck than me. In a world this harsh, they still survive easily, no stress, no food worries. Sometimes I wish I were a cockroach. And then, just like that, the monster struck me down. A system suddenly appeared, saying, attempting to resurrect host. All attempts failed. After several failed attempts, the system finally succeeded in resurrecting Jungo. When he opened his eyes, he thought, I must be dead. Wait, hold on, I just moved my hand. But what is this hand? This doesn't look human. And when Jungo saw his reflection, he was shocked. He had become a cockroach. What the hell? I was joking. Did I seriously become a cockroach? He noticed he now had extra limbs, but weirdly enough, they didn't feel unnatural. He glanced at his back and noticed some strange muscles. Then suddenly, without warning, Jungo started flying. What is happening to me? I just thought about my back and I started flying. Is that how cockroach bodies work? He muttered regretfully, if I'd known I could make a wish before dying, I'd have asked for something amazing. Why the hell did I wish for this? Just then, a voice echoed, humans are pathetic. You were blessed by the cockroach god, and you're mocking his gift? A giant cockroach appeared before him and said, for 5,000 years, not a single human ever wished to become a cockroach. You were the first. I was overjoyed and willingly gave you my powers. I thought I'd finally found someone worthy, but looking at you now, I see regret. You clearly wasted your wish. Jungo thought to himself, I've read so many fantasy novels, always thinking the authors were full of crap. Never did I imagine I'd meet a real system in front of me. He dropped to his knees and pleaded, brother system, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I'll accept your blessing with full gratitude. But it was too late. The cockroach god had already vanished. The system informed him, you've disappointed the cockroach god. Your misfortune begins now. Jungo groaned, I messed up. I pissed off my cheat code. What if it never comes back? For the next 10 days, Jungo knelt down and begged for forgiveness, knowing he couldn't survive in this body without the system. Meanwhile, other cockroaches whispered, what's this guy doing? He's gone insane. Jungo thought bitterly, no shame at all. They're calling me crazy right to my face. That night, Jungo sat in silence and thought, wishing to become a cockroach was one thing, but now that I actually am one, I can feel how horrible their life is. The things they eat, I could never eat what they're eating. As Jungo sat lost in thought, a cockroach approached and said, "Brother, here, fresh food. Our elders left this for us. If you don't eat it now while it's still fresh, it'll go bad." Jungo looked at it in disgust and replied, "Get this trash away from me." The fatty cockroach chimed in, "Brother, why are you being shy? We all share food here. It's nothing to be embarrassed about." But suddenly, Jungo, angry, punched the fatty cockroach. As it tumbled to the ground, Fatty whimpered, "Brother, that really hurt." Jungo replied, "Sorry, but your breath stinks. Next time, brush before you speak to me." Time passed. 5 more nights went by, and now Jungo, starving, was in really bad shape. He thought to himself, "I know everything in front of me is trash, but my cockroach body isn't listening to me anymore. Even this garbage is starting to look delicious." He moved forward and began tearing into a waste bag. "I'm not like the others. I won't eat just anything. There's got to be something in this trash I can eat." Finally, he found something, food that had expired 3 years ago. Jackpot, finally, something decent to eat. The system popped up and announced, "One expired pie detected. But since you are now a cockroach, this is nothing less than a grand feast." Jungo groaned, "How's a 3-year-old pie a feast?" But hunger won. He took a bite, and as he chewed, he exclaimed, "Wow, this actually tastes amazing. I never imagined expired food could be this tasty." Another 5 days passed. Still, the cockroach god didn't return. Jungo had assumed that being a cockroach in a post-apocalyptic world would be a huge advantage, that survival would be easy. But now, he realized, nothing in this world was easy. Sure, his cockroach form made him immune to many dangers, but if a stronger insect came along, it could end him in a second. He thought, "These cockroaches, they're actually pretty decent. If I became their king, surviving would be way easier. They're all cockroaches, but I've got a human brain. With it, I can dominate them and build a powerful army." Looking at Fatty, Jungo said, "Fatty, I see a lot of potential in you. Want to join my team and work for me?" But Fatty scoffed, "At least the elder cockroaches bring us food. You don't even do that. Why should we follow you?" Jungo frowned. "I underestimated them. If I want them to work under me, I'll have to prove I'm worth following. I need to wait for the right opportunity." Soon, 20 days had passed since Jungo became a cockroach, and finally, that opportunity arrived. The elder cockroaches announced, "Starting today, we're relocating to a new place where we can find better food. If we stay here any longer, predators will devour us. So you younger ones have 2 options, stay and wait for death, or come with us and live a hardened life." The smaller cockroaches began to cry, "Will we still get food?" Jungo watched them and thought, "Wow, these guys are seriously scared. The moment food is mentioned, they start crying." Fatty sobbed, "The outside world is dangerous. I'm honestly really scared to go out there." Jungo wondered, why are they all so afraid? These cockroaches are lazy. They don't even want to work for their own food. Then the elder cockroaches asked, "Is there anyone among you willing to go ahead and scout? Don't just stare at the ground. Lift your heads." But all the smaller cockroaches cowered in fear. Jungo stood tall and thought, "I don't need to be afraid. The elders don't feed me. I can find my own food. I don't need anyone's charity." Just then, the system spoke. "The cockroach god says if you accept this mission, he might forgive you." Without hesitation, Jungo raised his hand and declared, "I'm ready to lead." Fatty, delighted, said, "Brother, you're amazing. If you hadn't stepped up, they probably would have sent me instead." Jungo thought, if the things I read in novels were true, like if you have the system, no one can lay a hand on you, then I'll do whatever it takes to win that system back. Once outside, Jungo said confidently, "This is nothing. I just have to cross a demo field. Why were you all so scared of such an easy task?" Nervously, Fatty replied, "Looks like you really don't know what this mission's about." He explained, "Whenever food supplies run low, the elder cockroaches pick one of us to scout the field. Sure, the job sounds simple, just walk across the field. But in reality, that field is home to terrifying predators. At any moment, we can become their next meal. Going out there isn't just a task, it's an invitation to death. If you're stepping out there, you're putting your life entirely in the hands of luck." Jungo, visibly shaken, muttered under his breath, "What? Is this for real? This mission, it's way too dangerous." As panic crept in, Jungo couldn't shake the thought, why would the cockroach god do this to me? Are they planning to sacrifice me? Am I just bait in their grand scheme? Standing up, he clenched his fists and declared, "Look, I'm not an idiot. I've got a pretty solid plan to keep us fed without following orders from these giant bugs." Just then, a massive cockroach loomed over him and growled, "You really think you can walk away? On the other side of that dam lies a feast, countless corpses ripe for devouring. Now move, or starve. Jungo glanced at the creature and thought, these cockroaches, after devouring powerful monsters, they've evolved, especially the big ones. They're thinking like humans now. With a hint of sarcasm, Jungo replied, well, if I'm being honest, I'm on a diet. I don't need that much food. You guys go ahead. I'll find my own meal. Furious, the giant cockroach lifted him off the ground. I told you to shut up and move. Cross that dam, or you'll be dinner tonight. We'll eat you before we even touch the others. Jungo's mind raced. Doesn't matter who you are, if you're weak, the powerful will always crush you. I've seen supervisors like this before, back when I was human. No different than these overgrown bugs. The cockroach tossed him aside. Get moving. I'm giving you food. That's a privilege. Jungo clenched his jaw. I have to reclaim my system. Sitting here won't help. If I want respect, I have to become stronger. No one's coming to save me. Determined, he led his team forward. Stay alert. If you see anything, say something. Fast. As they moved, Jungo yanked his arm away from a clinging teammate. Fatty, don't cling to me. We need courage right now. Fear's not going to save us. But something didn't sit right. There's no river here, so why all these stones? Meanwhile, the giant cockroaches watched the smaller group. They've already made it halfway. Nothing's happened to them yet. We should move, another added. You're right. We can't let those pests eat all the good stuff. Move out. Eat everything. Jungo's expression darkened. These bastards can fly, but they still sent us ahead to scout. Cowards. Suddenly, he felt something, movement behind them. When he turned, his eyes widened. A massive toad loomed in the distance. Shaken, Jungo whispered, I knew it. These weren't just stones. These toad monsters were lying in wait. This was a trap, and we walked right into it. The group panicked, bolting for their lives. But the toads struck fast, ruthlessly. The system chimed in, warning, mutant toads are hunting you. Avoid detection. Their one weakness. They cannot see anything that remains still. Jungo yelled, everyone, freeze. Don't move an inch. They can't see us unless we move. That's when the cockroach god suddenly appeared beside him. I've come to give you two choices. 1. Take the easy way out and escape. Or 2. Risk everything to save your friend, and earn yourself a loyal follower for life. One who could help you become the cockroach king. Jungo's mind raced. We can't fight these toads. If I die here, there's no chance of becoming king. But can I really leave Fatty behind? His memories flashed back. I was just like him, alone, terrified. Back then, I didn't wish to become a cockroach. I wished someone would turn back and save me. He took a deep breath. I have two options. Just like those cowards who ran. But I won't be like them. I'm not that kind of monster. I'm saving Fatty. Overwhelmed, Fatty cried, Brother, you're amazing. Jungo scoffed. Please shut your mouth. You stink. But before they could continue, Jungo noticed, one of the toads had gotten too close. There was no way out. Without hesitation, he shoved Fatty to safety and sacrificed himself. The system echoed. You've passed the cockroach god's first trial. You have earned the right to reclaim your system. Welcome back. You've been granted your first ability, devouring skill. Anything you consume, you gain its powers. And now, your reward. Your human body has been restored. Jungo grinned. Finally, I'm back. The cockroach god looked at him with approval. At first, I thought you were just another coward. I was ready to abandon you, but now I see, you care for your people. You may just be worthy of becoming my successor. Jungo looked up. So what now? Does this mean I stay in human form forever? Can I never turn back into a cockroach again? The cockroach god answered calmly. Becoming my successor means gaining power, but it doesn't mean you must remain a cockroach. You can inherit my legacy in whatever form you choose. Still frustrated, Jungo shook his head. Can you just be clear for once? Your cryptic talk doesn't make sense to me. The cockroach god's tone sharpened. Becoming my successor means you've become immortal. You can stay in your human body. It's immortal now. There's no need to return to being a cockroach. Jungo's eyes lit up. That's amazing. I didn't just become human again. I can move freely, too. The cockroach god nodded. You fought hard to save your friend. That's why I gave your powers back. Suddenly, Jungo's expression changed. He looked down and said, I don't know why, but it feels like I just stepped on something. He glanced at his foot and froze. He had crushed little Fatty. The cockroach god exploded with rage. What have you done? I gave you these powers to save that Fatty, and you killed him without even realizing it. Jungo's thoughts raced. It was because of little Fatty that I became human again, and I accidentally used this very body to destroy him. The cockroach god's going to be furious. If he leaves now, he'll never come back. He took a deep breath. It's time to use my acting skills. I've got to fool him. The cockroach god growled. I must have picked a fool. You're not fit to be my successor. Suddenly, Jungo dropped to his knees and began sobbing loudly. If my friend isn't in this world, what's the point of me being here? Honestly, I feel horrible. I didn't mean for this to happen. His acting was top tier. The cockroach god paused, watching him closely. Maybe I misjudged him. He really does care about Fatty. He finally spoke again. Don't cry, Jungo. Little Fatty is fine. He's not hurt. In fact, he can't be hurt anymore, because he's now your guardian. As long as you live, so will he. Jungo looked up, stunned. To bring Fatty back, you don't need to do anything special. Just defeat these monsters and recharge your energy. Once that's done, he'll return. Jungo clenched his fists. At first, I was going to let these toad monsters go, but now, looks like it's their destiny to die by my hands. He stepped forward, cracking his knuckles. All right, Bugs, you're about to witness the true power of a human. But before he could strike, a toad monster jumped onto his arm and landed a brutal punch. Jungo yelled, "What the hell? I turn into a titan for 2 minutes and you become Commander Levi? You think you can take me down that easily?" The cockroach god shouted, "Idiot! Look at your arm. These toads are dangerous. Just touching their skin burns yours." Suddenly, the toad monster spotted a large cucumber-like organ inside Jungo's body. It lashed out with its tongue, aiming straight for it. Jungo screamed, "Cockroach god, help me. These toads are freaking evil. They're torturing me." The cockroach god scolded him, "Fool. I already gave you an ability. Why aren't you using it?" "What ability?" Jungo asked, eyes wide. "I gave you something called Devour. You don't need to do much. Just devour one of these toads. Once you do, you'll gain permanent immunity to them, and access to their powers." He added proudly, "It's an incredible ability. You just have to devour everything in your path and their powers will become yours." But Jungo hesitated. He refused to devour the toad. That's when more toads swarmed and surrounded him. Jungo thought to himself, "Am I seriously going to die here again? And to such weak monsters? Looks like I have no other choice. I have to devour them." He took a deep breath and lunged. The moment he devoured a toad, he felt incredible powers awaken within him. "My body, it feels so light now. It's time to teach them a lesson." With a single strike, he knocked down an entire squad of toads. Being powerful feels amazing. Didn't even take me 5 minutes to wipe them out. Just then, several vehicles surrounded him. He turned to see the symbol of the extermination squad emblazoned on their sides. Jungo narrated to himself, "Ever since the apocalypse, humanity has been getting weaker. That's why a team of powerful individuals was formed. People who explore the abyss and fight the monsters there. They also eliminate any monsters that make it to the cities. They say the extermination squad is humanity's blessing. They don't care about their own lives. They just fight to protect others." Jungo smiled with relief. "I've met these guys before. That means I'm saved. I'll finally get to go back to a city, where other humans live." He stepped forward, hopeful. "You all came to rescue me, right?" Without warning, the squad opened fire. Jungo dropped unconscious. One of the soldiers spoke into a radio. "We've found something weird. We're bringing him back to the lab." But Jungo wasn't out for long. Moments later, he stood back up. Unbeknownst to them, Jungo had activated the elastic muscle ability. Right in time, not a single needle had pierced his skin. The squad readied their weapons. "Our target is dangerous. Everyone, prepare for battle." The squad members were murmuring to one another, clearly tense. "Our target is highly dangerous. Everyone, get ready to engage." At the same time, Jungo was desperately trying to explain himself. "I'm human too, just like you. Please don't shoot. I'll explain everything." The squad raised their weapons, just about to fire, when the captain raised her hand. "Hold your fire. We're taking him to the lab. There's no need to kill him." Jungo's face twisted in confusion. "What do you mean by lab? Can't you see I can talk just like a normal human? In what world do I look like a monster to you?" Suddenly, soldiers on bikes moved in and restrained him, but Jungo reacted quickly. Using his poison, he burned through the restraints and slipped free with ease. The captain narrowed her eyes. "So he's an awakener. I wasn't expecting that. This just got a lot more fun." She gave the order to capture him again, and the rest of the squad immediately chased after him. One soldier lunged in, but Jungo shifted his body into a defensive form and darted away at lightning speed. "System, these people are seriously dangerous. Give me a new skill now or I'm done for." The system responded immediately. "You've unlocked Frog Leap. Use it to escape like a frog, agile and far." As he bounded away, Jungo felt a flicker of hope. "I think I've finally outrun them. No way they're catching me now." But just as he turned a corner, the captain used her silk thread ability to ensnare him. She tightened the grip, smirking. "What? Did you think escaping would be that easy? In one smooth motion, she wrapped Jungko's entire body like a cocoon. Then she turned to her squad. How many others like him have we captured so far? A soldier in the back answered. Including him? 13. We've found 12 others recently. Strange humans like this have been showing up a lot lately. The scene shifts to Mengjin's stronghold city. A loud announcement echoed at the gate. Vice Captain Aline has returned. Open the gates immediately. Aline marched through the gates with Jungko in custody, bringing him into their squad's detention sector. Jungko snapped. How many times do I have to tell you people, I'm human? Why can't you understand that? The only reason I didn't have clothes when we met was because I just came out of somewhere. One of the doctors stepped forward. He's definitely different from the other 12. They couldn't speak, but he can. Aline nodded. Be careful, doctor. We've found 12 like him in the past few weeks. They couldn't talk. They reacted like mindless beasts. But physical scans showed they were human. Still, everything about their behavior screamed otherwise. Another doctor muttered. He could be an evolved version, one that not only looks like a human, but acts like one too. The first doctor shook her head. I still don't understand why we're keeping them alive. They barely function, and killing them wouldn't cause us any problems. The other doctor scolded her. How can you say that as a medical professional? What if those 12 are just mentally ill, actual humans who've lost control of their minds? If we kill them without knowing, how are we any different from monsters? Meanwhile, Jungko was thinking fast. So that's why they captured me. They've found 12 others who looked human but acted like monsters. Now they're testing their bodies to confirm whether they're really human. His eyes widened. Wait, does that mean they're going to test me too? But I'm still a cockroach at my core. The tests will expose everything. Cockroach God. I'm a cockroach, remember? Once they test me, they'll know. But the cockroach God sounded clueless. Testing? What are you talking about? Jungko froze. He doesn't know anything? Then who's going to save me now? What if they decide I'm a monster and kill me? Just then, the team entered the lab, but something was wrong. The 12 other test subjects were nowhere to be seen. Only one man remained, sitting eerily still in a chair. Aline narrowed her eyes. Where did the others go? Then, to their shock, the remaining man began to transform. So did the others, emerging from the shadows. Already mid-transformation, they weren't human at all. They had become monsters. The man in the chair morphed into his true form, a tentacled creature. So, you're a tentacle monster, Aline said coolly. Revealing yourself here was a big mistake. No matter how hard you try, you're not getting out of this. The tentacle monster smirked and launched a thick, needle-tipped tentacle, injecting poison directly into Dr. and Jungko's body. Jungko gasped. What is this poison? I can't move at all. The cockroach god's voice echoed urgently. That's no ordinary toxin. It's a parasitic venom. It'll destroy your body from the inside and turn you into a permanent zombie. The monster sneered. I'm here to eliminate all of you humans. Once you're dead, your bodies will serve me. Aline's eyes widened. She spoke. A monster that can talk? I've never seen anything like this. The creature then threw the two doctors forward, straight toward Aline. Dodging swiftly, she clenched her fists. Fighting while protecting these two is going to be tough. To make things worse, I don't even have my weapons with me, and with civilians nearby, I can't unleash my full power. She took a deep breath. This fight is going to be hell. Just then, Aline's eyes landed on a knife. Without wasting a second, she snatched it up and hurled it straight at the monster, but the creature quickly pulled the doctors in front of him as human shields. Aline narrowed her eyes and thought, I knew it. This thing was never going to fight fair. It was bound to rely on cowardly tactics like this. Meanwhile, the cockroach god called out to Jungko, telling him not to get distracted and to begin devouring the monster's abilities immediately. He explained that once the monster's powers were consumed, its parasites would no longer affect him. As Jungko activated his devouring ability, he could feel his resistance to the parasites increasing by the second. Aline shouted at the monster, challenging it. If you've got any guts, then come out and fight face to face. You know, in our world, cowards who hide behind others are nothing but disgraceful. The monster sneered and responded mockingly, saying she was trying to provoke him. But let's be honest, it's pointless. As long as I have these girls as my shields, there's nothing you can do to hurt me. Aline smirked and replied coldly, looks like you're seriously delusional. With a flick of her wrist, she launched a barrage of blades at the monster, thinking to herself, I was right, its body is weak, that's why it keeps hiding behind others. But suddenly, something terrifying happened. Every wound inflicted on the monster's body appeared identically on the captured doctors. Aline gasped, stunned. What the hell just happened? The tentacled monster let out a dark chuckle and said, You're wondering what's going on, aren't you? The truth is, I've merged my body with these humans. I now use their life force to heal myself. If you injure me, they suffer the same wounds. Aline clenched her fists and thought grimly, this thing's a walking nightmare. Where the hell is the rest of my team? The monster taunted her further, saying, you're trapped too now. Take a look at your hand. Aline glanced down and froze. What? When did this parasite get on me? Why isn't my hand responding? The monster laughed again. I figured you'd fall for it, just like the others. Now, I'll make you destroy yourself with your own hands, and you won't be able to stop it. Aline's eyes hardened. You monsters all share the same pathetic assumption, that humans don't think. I'll admit, your trap was clever. Anyone else might have been finished by now, but not me. She stepped forward with fierce confidence and said, let me introduce my ability, Spider Silk. I can control the body of any enemy I bind. So do you really think you can make my hand fight me? She tightened her grip. Watch closely. I broke out of your trap without breaking a sweat. The monster growled. Fine, you escaped this time, but how long do you think you'll last? I've got girls acting as my power banks. If I run low, I just refill. But you're human. You'll get tired, you'll break down, and then you'll die. Aline's voice cut through his threats. And I'll still shatter your arrogance by ending you. Just then, Jungo began to move. The monster's eyes widened in disbelief. What? I can't control him? Then I'll just destroy him. Snarling, it launched a deadly strike at Jungo, but Aline reacted in a flash, casting her silken threads and pulling him out of harm's way. Jungo said, thanks for saving my life. Aline eyed him cautiously. I'm sure of it now, you're not one of them. But if that's true, and you still have control over your mind, why were you wandering like that earlier? Jungo replied calmly, I already tried telling you all. She looked at him again, her suspicion fading. Seems like the monster can't fully control your body. In that case, I'm giving you two options. 1, we both die fighting here. Or 2, I hold off the monster while you go out and call for backup. Jungo shook his head. I don't like either of those options. That's why I'm choosing option 3. Aline blinked. Option 3? What's that supposed to mean? He grinned. Option 3 is simple. We team up, and we beat the crap out of this bastard together. Let's show this mushroom freak just how dangerous humans can be. Aline stared at him like he'd lost his mind. I've seen plenty of lunatics, but you're on a whole new level. Do you even care about your life? Jungo's smile faded. In his mind, he thought, this isn't about survival. I know what it feels like to be completely alone. That's why I can't bear to leave anyone behind. Then, out loud, he said, I hate people who abandon their teammates, even if I have to face monsters, or death itself. I'll always stand my ground. I'll never turn my back like a coward. Aline glanced at him, thinking, I'll give him this. Either he's insanely stupid, or insanely brave. Most people wouldn't step up to be a hero in a situation like this. Jungo, meanwhile, was calculating his move. The parasites don't work on me. The system said I can handle this monster. I have to fight now, not just to survive, but to prove myself to their squad. Otherwise, they'll keep throwing me to the wolves. Just then, the mushroom monster roared and unleashed a devastating tentacle attack aimed at Aline. Jungo turned to her and asked, you said your silk lets you control bodies, right? I've got the power, but not the skills. Can you control my body and fight through me? The parasites won't work on me anyway. Aline nodded without hesitation. Her silk wrapped around Jungo, and in the next moment, she took control of his movements, sending him charging into battle with precision. The mushroom monster sneered and said, no matter how fast you are, you can't outrun my tentacles. But Jungo weaved between the doctors and closed the distance in a flash. The monster's eyes widened in disbelief. This human, he's fast. I must have underestimated them all. Jungo didn't hesitate. He darted forward and threw a punch straight at the monster's core, but with a quick motion, the mushroom monster blocked it using his powerful tentacles. You're weak. A punch like that can't do anything to me. Just then, Jungo's new abilities activated. His muscles expanded like elastic cords, and a poisonous glow pulsed through his veins. Using his enhanced body, he ripped through the monster's tentacles with ease. Aline, watching from the side, was stunned. How many abilities does this guy have? He broke through the monster's barrier like it was nothing. Even the mushroom monster gasped. Impossible. How can a mere human be this strong? Jungo smirked. You were talking a lot just a minute ago. What's wrong? Cat got your tongue? But the monster snarled back. It's not over yet. I'll just regenerate the damage by using these humans. And when I do, I'll kill you first. Then he paused, and looked down, horrified. His body wasn't healing. Off to the side, Aline stood beside two freed doctors. She said calmly, I've already removed your parasites from their bodies. You can't use them as power banks anymore, and that means, your end starts now. The monster growled, Don't celebrate too early, human, I've still got one last trump card. With a roar, he absorbed the remaining 11 hostages, and in an instant, transformed into a larger, more grotesque form. He grinned. So, what do you think of my final transformation? I hope you're not disappointed by this new power. Then, in a blur, he shot toward Aline and landed a devastating punch. She staggered back, eyes wide. He's gotten even faster. I can't even track his movements anymore. Jungo watched helplessly. When did he get that close to Aline? Before they could react, the monster pounced again and began brutally pummeling her. In moments, she was battered and bleeding. You hit me earlier, didn't you? Now it's your turn. He turned to Jungo. And you're next. Jungo's heart pounded. This is bad. Something terrible is about to happen. The monster lunged and struck Jungo with a brutal blow. Inside his mind, the system's voice echoed. Warning, critical damage to the skull. Internal organs have sustained heavy trauma. Activating immunity skill to initiate recovery. Moments later, Jungo's body began to regenerate, his wounds sealing rapidly. He gasped. I thought I was dead. How am I still alive? The cockroach god's voice responded sternly. Stay down. If that monster hits you again, I might not be able to heal you next time. I've already used too much energy to keep you alive. Jungo gritted his teeth, realizing the truth. I can't do anything else now. Vice Captain Aline, you'll have to finish this fight on your own. The mushroom monster turned back to Jungo and laughed. I thought you'd be strong, but compared to that girl, you're nothing. Despite her injuries, Aline stood up once again and charged the monster, but the creature grabbed her mid-strike and slammed her into the ground repeatedly. You thought I wouldn't notice you sneaking up on me? I'm not some clueless child. You made a big mistake thinking you could get close. With a final hurl, he tossed her to the side like a rag doll. Despite her injuries, Aline stood up once again and charged the monster, but the creature grabbed her mid-strike and slammed her into the ground repeatedly. You thought I wouldn't notice you sneaking up on me? I'm not some clueless child. You made a big mistake thinking you could get close. With a final hurl, he tossed her to the side like a rag doll. Aline groaned, pain racking her body. I never imagined this fight would turn out to be this brutal. Half my body's not responding, but the other half still works. I can hold him off, at least until someone shows up. Nearby, Jungo looked on in despair. Even Aline can't keep up with him, and none of my abilities are working against this monster. Is this the end? Just then, one of the doctors lying nearby handed him a glowing crystal. Take this, get it to Aline, it'll boost her power. It might be our only hope. Jungo stared at the crystal. If I throw it, the monster will see it and destroy it. I'll have to take the risk myself. The cockroach god's voice returned. Your elastic muscles make you faster than most. If you push them beyond their limit, you might reach a speed the monster can't detect. Right now, your chances of reaching Aline are just 10%. But if you stay here, death is certain. It's your call. Jungo, I won't force you. Jungo clenched the crystal and activated his elastic muscle skill, launching himself forward at blinding speed. From afar, the mushroom monster sensed movement. These pathetic humans, why won't they give up? Their tricks won't work on me. The cockroach god's voice echoed again, grim and urgent. He's noticed you. Your success rate just dropped from 10% to 5%. Jungo had been thinking to himself, if everything goes according to plan, there's no way I'll fail. He launched himself into a high leap, hurtling straight toward the mushroom monster. But before he could get halfway, the beast's massive hand shot out and snatched him midair. The mushroom monster growled. What did you think? That getting past me would be easy? Foolish human, this is your end. Watching from afar, the cockroach god muttered, this really is your end, Jungo. And with that, the mushroom monster slammed Jungo into the ground. But even in that brutal moment, Jungo thought defiantly, who said I'm finished? To tell the truth, this was the real plan all along. With all his remaining strength, he flung the crystal across the battlefield, toward Aline. The mushroom monster roared and launched a devastating attack at Jungo. I told you, you're weak. If you had accepted defeat earlier, your death might have been easy. But no, you had to resist. But as the smoke cleared, it realized something was wrong. Jungo was still alive, completely unharmed. It was Aline. She'd used her spider silk just in time to shield him. The monster snarled, Spider silk? That pisses me off. Aline, bloodied and barely standing, wrapped her entire body in her silk to reinforce her shattered limbs. You went through all that, just to protect this crystal, she said, glancing at Jungo. You've got guts, kid, and I like that. Then, without hesitation, she spun her silk and entangled the mushroom monster in a full body bind. The monster struggled and thought, what the hell? How did her silk suddenly become this powerful? He tried to pull her toward him, but Aline flipped him and slammed the beast to the ground, advancing with her snow blade. "This is my strongest attack. You're not escaping this one." But just before the impact, shock struck her face. The mushroom monster had caught her strike effortlessly. He laughed. "This is your strongest power? Even if you humans borrowed our strength, you're still pathetically weak." Then, with a swift motion, it shattered Aline's weapon and stabbed her through the side. Jungo's heart sank. Did Aline lose? Is this really the end? As the monster moved in for a finishing blow, at that moment, someone approached and separated both his hands from his body. Jungo stared in disbelief. Who the hell was that? He just cut off the monster's arms like it was nothing. Two more figures appeared through the smoke. The mushroom monster hissed. "And who are you supposed to be?" One of them, a girl, rushed to Aline's side. She said calmly, "She's severely injured. If I don't treat her immediately, her condition could worsen." It was Captain Haley, of Squad 10. The other figure turned to Aline and said, "Don't worry, Aline, no monster is getting past us now." He was Captain Philo, of Squad 2. Then, from behind them, a third voice echoed powerfully. The Chief Commander Carey himself stepped forward. "This monster is fascinating. It's the first time I've ever seen one that can actually talk. Killing it might be fun." Aline called out, struggling to speak. "Chief Commander Carey, please, be careful. This one's nothing like the others." Carey replied, "Relax, I've got this." Haley snapped at the group. "I'm healing people here. Could you all just shut up for a minute?" She activated her ability, Revival, and wrapped the wounded in glowing flowers. Jungo could feel his body relaxing inside the petals. "These flowers, they feel amazing. It's like they're filling me with new energy. I'm getting sleepy." Suddenly, an injection pierced his arm. The cockroach god looked down at him and said, "You can't sleep now, kid. What you're about to witness is the peak of human power. You need to see this." Carey stepped forward, voice calm but firm. "My name is Carey Viren, Chief Commander of the Extermination Squad. Since you can speak like a human, I figured we might have an interesting chat." But the mushroom monster sneered. "Unfortunately, I don't talk to my food." Carey's eyes narrowed as he noticed something dropping from the ceiling. The mushroom monster grinned. "I knew it. You're the strongest in this city. I always knew I'd have to face you someday. I've already devoured every other target in this city. You're the last one left. And this time, you won't escape." It lunged at Carey. From behind the barrier, Jungo gasped. "We couldn't even handle one monster, and now there are so many of them." Just then, Captain Philo unleashed a single punch and obliterated several monsters at once. Haley raised a barrier of cyclone winds around the flower-wrapped wounded. Jungo was stunned. They created a barrier using cyclone, and it's strong. No monster could possibly break through that. Philo called out, "Haley, I've got monsters handled. Watch the others." Haley smirked. "Don't worry, these weaklings, I've got them covered." Jungo watched in awe. The captains, their power is on a completely different level. I thought Aline was strong as vice captain, but these guys are on another level entirely. If even one of them had been here earlier, that monster would have been finished by now. But the mushroom monster snarled again. "Your captains? They're busy. It's just you and me now. Let's see who really has the power." He absorbed everything in its surroundings, then transformed again, becoming even larger and more monstrous than before. Jungo's eyes widened. What is this thing? A monster, or a super scion? He just keeps evolving. Commander Carey chuckled. "You know, I envy creatures like you sometimes. You can shift forms whenever you want, grow stronger instantly. We humans, we have to earn every ounce of it, with pain and blood." Just then, the mushroom monster lunged at the commander with a devastating punch, but with effortless grace, the commander dodged the strike. He smirked and said, "That attack wasn't nearly fast enough." Infuriated, the monster sprouted multiple arms and launched a flurry of attacks, but not a single one touched the commander. He moved like a phantom, untouchable. Then, without warning, the monster extended his tentacles and managed to bind the commander. Grinning wickedly, the monster growled, "You're not going anywhere now, human. This is your end. You've been caught." The commander didn't flinch. With a calm but cold tone, he said, "I was in the mood to play, but I guess now, I'll just have to kill you." In the next instant, his counterattack shattered the monster's form, slicing him into countless pieces. Stunned and disoriented, the monster muttered, "What just happened? I didn't even see it coming. I really lost." The vice commander stared him down and replied flatly, "Believe it, this is reality." With a single flick of his finger, he disintegrated the last remaining fragments of the monster. All that was left was its brain, the true source controlling everything. Grinning with satisfaction, the commander declared, "Finally, I got it." He looked toward his comrades and said, "Guys, you won't believe it, but I caught the talking monster." We had no intel on it until now, so, can I name it? From behind, Haley and Philo sighed in disbelief. Our boss is such an idiot. Our entire lab, the one we spent a fortune building, is completely destroyed, and he's standing there trying to name a monster. Jungo chuckled and said, "Man, that thing was seriously powerful, but when they were fighting, it didn't feel like he was the monster, it was the commander who looked like one." The cockroach god chimed in, "That's exactly why I kept you awake to witness it. But now, Jungo, it's okay to collapse." When Jungo opened his eyes, he found himself submerged in a bathtub. He blinked in confusion and muttered, "Wait, how the hell did I end up in a bath?" He heard some voices nearby. Blushing slightly, he thought, "What's going on here? How can there be two people in the same tub?" Just then, Aline's voice called out, "Finally, you're awake." She looked at him with a teasing grin and added, "So, your tests haven't come back yet," which meant you had to stay under observation for the night. "But honestly, after that fight, you really helped me out a lot, so, I figured I'd just take you home with me." Jungo, clearly flustered, stammered, "Shouldn't we be talking somewhere else? Like, not here? Can't we do this outside?" Aline shrugged, "Hot water's still running, not like we've got many options." She reached out a hand. "I'm Aline, vice captain of the extermination squad, and thanks for saving me back there. So what's your name?" Jungo replied, "Far as I can remember, it's Jungo." Aline smiled, "That was a long, brutal fight. Let me see how your wounds are doing." She leaned forward and began inspecting his back. Jungo stiffened and thought, "This world really is insane. Am I the only one who's even a little embarrassed?" Aline whispered, "Your body's incredible. I clearly remember how badly you were injured. But now, no scars, you're fully healed. That healing power of yours, it's remarkable." From within Jungo's mind, the cockroach god's voice echoed, "Jungo, you're in quite the situation. Your heart rate's going through the roof. Want me to activate the special mode?" Jungo yelled internally, "No, don't you dare." Aline looked up and asked, "Hey, would you mind checking out my scars? That damn monster gave me a few new ones." The cockroach god cackled, "Too late, I'm not stopping now." Activating special mode. But before anything embarrassing could happen, Jungo bolted upright and climbed out of the bath. He muttered, "Good thing I got out of there in time. That cockroach god was seriously gonna ruin me." Suddenly, the TV turned on. A news anchor's voice echoed, "Roughly 50 kilometers from Mengjin City, several workers were found dead while trying to remove monster remains. They were ambushed by an unknown group. Not a single one survived." Jungo's eyes widened. "Wait, that's where I used to work. Everyone, they're all dead now." The anchor continued, "When the investigation team arrived, all they found were bodies. No traces of survivors." Jungo swallowed hard. "If I'd been there, I would have died too." An emergency message came through the speakers. "Citizens, if you see any abyss portals, report them immediately. These anomalies pose a serious threat to the city." The cockroach god whispered, "Jungo, don't dwell on that pathetic past. I've got some good news for you." Jungo looked up. "What kind of news?" "You absorbed a massive amount of energy in the last fight. You can revive Fatty." Jungo raised an eyebrow. "Wait, why does it say Imperial Guard on him?" The cockroach god replied proudly, "Think of yourself as a king. Fatty is your loyal general. As long as you're alive, Fatty's immortal. No matter how many times he dies, he'll always return when summoned." Jungo smiled faintly. "So, he's basically invincible now? Though usually, generals protect the king. How's Fatty supposed to protect me with that tiny body?" The god laughed. "That's the beauty of it. Fatty can level up too. He can be your scout, your eyes in the world. You can share your vision with him, and see through his eyes." And just like that, Jungo summoned Fatty once more. Fatty, bursting into tears, hugged him and cried, "Big bro, I missed you so much. But, why do you look so weird now?" "You look human," Cockroach God said. "Close your eyes. Jungo, you can see this world through Fatty's vision." Just then, Fatty's body floated aimlessly into the bathroom, like a confused balloon drifting in a storm. Jungo scoffed, clearly irritated, "Idiot, you're gonna get us in trouble. If Aline catches you peeking again, she won't let you off easy. Get out, now," he yelled from a distance, his voice sharp, "You're gonna get us both killed. I've already unlinked your senses. If you die again, it's on you." But Fatty, clueless as ever, responded with confusion, "Brother, what are you saying? I sensed you needed to peek inside, so I came here to help you." At that exact moment, Aline noticed Fatty. Her eyes narrowed. No hesitation, she launched her silk attack, pinning Fatty to the wall, and eliminated him with brutal efficiency. As Fatty's body vanished, Jungo winced. The backlash from their severed connection hit him hard. The cockroach god, almost apologetically, murmured, "Oh, I forgot to mention, if you're still linked with someone when they die, the pain is shared equally. 2 days late, the scene shifts to Aline standing beside Jungo, medical files in hand. Jungo, your results are in, and the amazing thing is, your body's completely normal, you're free now, you can live however you want. But Jungo wasn't smiling. Instead, he looked straight into her eyes and said, I want to join the extermination squad. Aline's expression hardened. Before you decide, there's something you need to know. Our squad has one of the lowest survival rates. Only 3 out of every 10 make it out alive. Even knowing that, do you still want in? Jungo didn't flinch. I'm an awakened. I have power. If I don't use it to protect people, I'll regret it for the rest of my life. That's why I need to join. Aline nodded. Alright then, the selection tournament begins in 7 days. But let me be clear, your skills are good, but not at the level of most competitors. And this year's competition, they say it's the hardest one in history. Jungo gave her a firm look. Vice Captain, I know it's a lot to ask, but could you pull some strings for me? I'm not saying you owe me for saving your life. I just really want to save people too. Aline stared at him for a moment, then cracked a smile. If that's how you feel, then get on your feet. I like that stubbornness. Let me show you what real special training looks like. Meanwhile, the chief commander observed everything from a distance. A concerned doctor stood beside him. Commander, I still don't understand why you altered Jungo's medical report. His gene test results, they're not even human. The chief commander remained silent for a beat before replying. Doctor, keep this a secret. I have a feeling that kid's going to do something far beyond what we've ever imagined. Later that day, Aline had taken Jungo to the entrance of a massive, swirling abyss. Jungo's eyes widened in shock. Aline, are you seriously throwing me into the abyss for special training? I've never even been in one before. How am I supposed to survive in there? He stared at the swirling black void, his thoughts racing. The abyss, a dimensional rift filled with monsters far stronger than anything on Earth. It's said that even an army of thousands couldn't clear a single high-ranked one. And now I'm going in, with a bunch of teens who barely look experienced. What the hell is this squad? Aline spoke as if reading his thoughts. These abyss portals are gateways to other worlds. Our world has encountered many types. We rank them from E class to S class. Depending on danger level, the deeper the rank, the bigger and deadlier the area becomes. She gestured toward the portal. This one isn't too dangerous. Our squad's been in it before. It's perfect for training. Once you're in the squad, clearing abysses will be your main job. So what better place to start? She raised her hand toward the portal. I'm opening it now. Everyone, get ready to enter. Her eyes shifted to one of the trainees. Justin, you've been inside before. Compared to the others, you have more experience. You'll lead the team. As the team emerged into the misty shadows of the abyss, Jungo looked around in awe. So this is what an abyss looks like. Monstrous creatures lurked among the trees, hybrid monkey snakes and spiders the size of small cars. Even the trees themselves towered above like titans. Jungo's jaw dropped. We're not on Earth anymore. This place is something else entirely. The other squad members glanced at Jungo uncertainly. Is this guy seriously here to train with us? Can he even survive in here? Despite their confusion, the group began advancing deeper into the abyss. That's when Justin tossed Jungo a heavy pack and said bluntly, you look like this is your first time in the abyss. Don't touch any monsters accidentally. Your job is simple. Carry our gear and observe. You're not here to fight. But internally, Justin was annoyed. Why the hell was Aline favoring this guy so much? She was his goddess, and there was no way he'd let some random rookie get close to her. Jungo, however, didn't rise to the provocation. Instead, he chuckled and replied, if I'm safe, what's the problem? I've got no issue carrying your stuff. You go fight the monsters. I'll handle this. His calm reaction stunned Justin, who'd expected anger or defiance. Instead, Jungo just smiled. Jungo thought, this is perfect. While they're out there risking their lives, I'll get to devour the monsters they kill. Justin stood there speechless. He's happy with this. I thought he'd be furious. How am I supposed to piss him off now? Jungo even offered to carry more. Hey, you guys can give me your gear too. If I'm not gonna fight, at least let me help. He walked over to Liu Yao, who curtly declined. I don't need your help. I can carry my own pack. And honestly, you shouldn't be doing this either. You were sent here as a teammate, not a porter. If you actually learned something here, maybe you'd be useful. Jungo smiled to himself. They think I'm weak, that I'm scared. But the truth is, I just need monsters to grow stronger. If I can devour them without lifting a finger, why should I care who does the killing? They do the work, I get the benefits. The battle began. Liu Yao unleashed lightning, frying dozens of monkey-like beasts in a single strike. Justin sliced through mantis monsters with deadly precision. Jungo watched in silence, mentally taking notes. Before coming here, I knew almost nothing, but now I understand how awakeners fight. These weapons, they're called crystal weapons. Every time they kill a monster, the weapon absorbs its power. The more they kill, the stronger they get. He remembered what Aline had told him, that this squad was one of the best among the rookies. And it was true. Even the top fighters were starting to look exhausted after killing just a handful of monsters. Jungo observed closely. It's been 10 hours since we entered the abyss. They've taken down maybe 500 monsters in total. Justin alone has killed 310. Justin let out a victorious yell. Finally, after 310 kills, I've leveled up. Damn, that was tough. Watching them, Jungo murmured, they're fighting so hard. Becoming powerful looks exhausting. But for me, it's effortless. I'm nothing like them. He pulled out cooked monster meat and began eating calmly. And it's not even bad. The system echoed in his head. You have devoured snake ape flesh. Ability gained. Long arms. Jungo grinned. Eat. Get stronger. What could be better than this? I devour the monsters they kill, and I get their powers. And the best part? I don't have to lift a finger. As he kept eating, his abilities multiplied, one after another, like a gluttonous beast evolving in secret. Soon, he was full. I overdid it. All these abilities just from eating? Now I know what I need to do. He looked toward the others. If I can officially join this squad, I'll aim for their logistics division. I won't have to fight. I'll just watch and feast. Eventually, I'll become more powerful than all of them combined. He raised his hands to the sky. Praise the cockroach god. You truly are the greatest being in existence. Meanwhile, his squad mates stood in stunned silence, watching him from afar. Song Tao muttered, we're fighting for our lives here. We're bleeding, risking everything. And that guy, he entered with us. He's just sitting there, enjoying lunch. Another teammate added bitterly, we gave him our gear, and now, just watching him eat, I feel so envious. Elsewhere in the abyss, two terrifying monsters clashed for dominance, each vying for the title of ruler of this twisted, alien realm. The first monster appeared, Steelhorn, and his opponent was none other than the king of the snake monkeys. But in just a single, devastating strike, Steelhorn ended the Monkey King's life. Shocked, Jungo muttered, so this is the final boss of the abyss? Damn, Steelhorn really is powerful. He took down a snake monkey king like it was nothing. Do you really think you can defeat a monster that strong? He added, turning toward the others. That monkey was supposed to be on the same level as Steelhorn, and yet it was annihilated like it was nothing. We're far weaker than even that monkey. Justin spoke up, his voice steady despite the tension. I don't believe power is everything. We humans have something far greater, our minds. And if we use them right, we can take down monsters like these easily. He continued confidently, I've got a killer plan to bring down Steelhorn. If a new team like us manages to slay a boss-level monster, there's no doubt they'll let us into the squad. That's why, no matter what, we have to take it down. Jungo's thoughts, however, were uneasy. Is this guy insane? Did he already forget what Aline said before we entered? She had made it clear. Don't risk your life unnecessarily. If we pick a fight with something way stronger and something happens to us, the squad won't take responsibility. Out loud, Jungo said. Aline was clear. Don't mess with the boss monster. Look, do whatever you want. I won't stop you, but I'm not joining this mission. Justin snapped. And what are you even doing here? Just carrying our bags? Have you even killed a single monster since we got here? Whether you're with us or not won't change anything. If the fight scares you so much, go sit somewhere far away. And I don't know, guard our bags or something. Liao watched this unfold, uneasy. Why do I feel like Justin's planning something wrong? Is he setting Jungo up as a sacrifice? Justin then unrolled a crude map and pointed at a marked circle. Since we arrived, I've been mapping this place. See this zone? Monsters never enter it. If you go there, nothing will attack you, guaranteed. As Jungo walked away, he called out, don't worry about your gear. I'll guard it just fine. But if you guys can't handle the monster, run. Don't die for nothing. Elsewhere, Song Tao and Suke whispered to each other, what an idiot. He walked right into the trap. Liao turned to Justin, furious. Captain, what the hell are you doing? You're sending Jungo right into the place we're planning to fight Steelhorn. Justin didn't deny it. You're right. That's exactly where we'll fight. And I know Steelhorn is far too powerful for any of us to kill head-on. His voice turned cold. That's why I loaded Jungo's backpack with bombs. The moment Steelhorn spots him, he'll go in for the kill, and when he gets close enough, boom, one explosion, and that bastard of a boss monster will be blown to pieces. The best part? None of us have to risk a thing. We trade one piece of trash for a boss kill. Tell me, what could be better? Lu Yao stood her ground. You've lost your mind. We can't just take someone's life like that, whether he helps or not. He doesn't deserve to die. She turned to leave. I'm telling Jungo everything. I'm not letting someone die in front of me. But before she could move, Justin blocked her path with a flash of his swift ability. I worked hard on this plan, and the rest of my team is on board. I knew from the start you'd pull something like this. That's why I never told you until now. If you try to warn Jungo, you'll have to get through the three of us first. We're already planning to kill him. Killing you two won't be a problem, so if you value your life, stay quiet, and support your team. Meanwhile, Jungo arrived at the so-called safe zone. What kind of monster is this? I'm pretty sure I never devoured it. As he reached for the beast to place it in his pack, the ground began to tremble. He turned sharply. That battle's happening a mile away. Could it really be so intense that the tremors are reaching here? No, that can't be it. Steelhorn is strong, but not strong enough to shake a mile with raw power, unless that bastard is heading this way. Suddenly, a stampede of monkeys rushed past him. Why are they all running away? Is something coming? And then, Steelhorn burst through the trees, crashing into the clearing. Without hesitation, he rammed his horn straight through Jungo's body and slammed him into a stone wall. Shocked, Jungo gasped. Why is Steelhorn here? This was supposed to be the safe zone. They were supposed to be fighting far away. The voice of the cockroach god echoed in his head. Jungo, you sustained serious injuries. Hold on, I'll use immortality to heal you. Gritting his teeth, Jungo asked, where are the others? Did this monster already kill them all? Is that why he came after me? Suddenly, a burning arrow flew through the air, slamming into the ground near the big backpack. Jungo stood frozen, horrified, as a chilling thought crossed his mind. Were there bombs hidden inside those backpacks? That could only mean one thing. This whole thing was planned from the start. Suddenly, the ground shook with a brutal detonation. The blast echoed through the cliffs as fire and smoke consumed the space. Gritting his teeth, Jungo muttered, I've been betrayed again. His voice trembled, not with fear, but with rage. How low can they sink? They used me like bait. Scene shifts to high above, on the cliffs. Squad members watch the blast. Justin let out a cocky laugh. I told you, the human brain is the deadliest weapon. Use it right, and you can take down any monster, no matter how strong. He turned to his team, grinning. To be honest, I'm more thrilled about killing Jungo than the monster. That bastard's face pissed me off every time I looked at it. But I ended both, the monster and that freak, in one blow. I swear, I'm a goddamn genius. My spot in this squad? Locked in. From now on, life's gonna be easy. But then, Liao gasped, pointing toward the smoke. Captain, look, something's still standing down there. As the smoke cleared, their eyes widened. Jungo, alive, standing, and not just him, the horned monster too, very much alive. Justin's smirk faded. Wait, what the hell is going on? A blast that strong didn't even kill them? I get the monster surviving, but that kid too. Jungo's fists clenched, his eyes burned with fury. What did I ever do to you? We met for the first time today, and the first thing you do is try to kill me? We've never even fought, and yet you tricked me, laughed with me, then stabbed me in the back. You people, you're worse than the monsters. With a growl, Jungo reached up and yanked the steel horn from his chest. His monkey-like powers surged. He activated his abilities one by one, muscles expanding, energy surging. Then, with a roar, he lifted the horned beast off the ground with brutal force. You wanted to use me to get this thing killed? Let's flip the script. Now you will die by its hands. With that, he hurled the monster straight toward the cliff. The beast slammed directly onto Song Tao, pinning him down. Song Tao screamed, Captain, help. It's too heavy. I can't move. Justin barely looked back. He's done. Wounded like that, he's useless. No point saving him. He turned to the others. Focus on the monster. Anyone who tries to save him will fight me instead. Song Tao choked out, Captain, please. I've stood by you, good or bad, every step. You can't abandon me now. Justin's response was cold. He unleashed his bursting array attack, blasting Song Tao. The impact not only killed him, it also injured the monster severely. The silver-horned beast screamed in pain. The creature's rage flared. Justin narrowed his eyes. Looks like that got its attention. Good. It's too angry now to coordinate any attacks. He barked orders. Everyone, go all in. Hit it with everything you've got. Suke unleashed his fire powers, launching a devastating elemental attack. Liao followed with her full strength, but nothing happened. The monster barely flinched. Justin frowned. Keep attacking, Liao. I think it's working. It looks like it's finally taking damage. But then, something horrifying happened. The monster began absorbing their energy. Every elemental attack swallowed whole. Justin's face drained of color. What happened? Lu Yao gasped. Wait, it has absorption abilities? All our attacks, it's feeding on them. She shouted to the others, panicked. Stop using elemental powers. Only physical attacks will work. She stared at the monster, trembling. All this time, it was faking being hurt. We've only made it stronger. Justin's thoughts raced. So that's why they said this thing was dangerous. It can absorb magic. No problem, only physical strength can beat it. He muttered. We'd need at least 2 fighters like Vice Captain Aline to even stand a chance. And then, without warning, Justin turned. His blade flashed. He struck down Suke, knocking him out cold. Lu Yao screamed, Justin, what are you doing? You said Suke was your best friend. Justin didn't even hesitate. He knocked Lu Yao out with a single attack. You were all in my way. Your powers are magic-based. You're useless against this thing. If I leave you here, maybe it'll go after you, not me. And with that, Justin ran. Steelhorn roared and charged. It crushed Suke where he lay. And just as it raised its claws to kill Lu Yao, but just as the blow was about to land, Jungo arrived, throwing himself between them and saving her. Lu Yao, slowly opening her eyes, whispered, Why did you save me? I was one of the ones who betrayed you. Jungo's voice was calm, but resolute. I saved you, because when everyone else was handing me their explosive backpacks, you were the only one who gave me advice. You told me to stand up for myself, that I didn't have to do what they said. He looked her in the eyes. I'm certain of one thing. Someone like you could never be part of their disgusting plan. That's why I saved you. As Jungo stood, memories hit him like a wave. He thought about the time when he was still human, weak, powerless, and how his comrades used him as bait to save themselves. They had left him to die. Even after being reborn as a cockroach, he'd remained weak. Back then too, he was forced to obey stronger cockroaches, forced to follow orders he never agreed with. And this time, I didn't even provoke anyone, and still, they betrayed me. Something in him hardened. He understood now, clearly, in this world, it doesn't matter how good you are. If you're weak, others will decide your fate. Your life, your death, it'll all be in their hands. But those who are strong, they're the ones who control destiny. That's why I'll become powerful, so powerful, no one will ever dare betray me again. Just as that thought settled in his mind, Jungo suddenly heard a desperate voice behind him. It was Justin. Jungo, please, help me. Django turned slowly. Captain Justin, looks like you've forgotten your own words. You told me, as long as you're here, I didn't need to lift a finger against the monster. So I'm just following my captain's orders. I'm not doing a thing. Justin cursed him. You bastard, you're worse than the monster. But before he could say anything more, Steelhorn struck, killing Justin instantly. Jungo looked at the fallen body and muttered, Now, the only one left from our squad is Lu Yao, and if I want to protect her, I'll have to knock her out first. He activated his skill, and without hesitation, rendered Lu Yao unconscious. Then, Jungo reflected silently. He'd seen enough of human nature. If he was being honest, he couldn't trust anyone anymore, not ever again. No matter what happened, he would keep his abilities a secret. No one should know that he possessed the power of devouring, or that he could transform his body at will. Now that Lu Yao was unconscious, he was free to use his powers however he liked, and it was time to finish off this monster, right here, right now. Jungo called out to Steelhorn with a snarl. Hey, Rhino Freak, what are you staring at? You've already killed the weak ones, but if you've got any guts, try laying a hand on me. He cracked his knuckles. Let's see what happens when Daddy Jungo comes for you. Steelhorn charged again, furious. But Jungo, using his tongue snap ability, narrowly dodged in time. Jungo thought back. For the last 10 hours, he had been absorbing monsters, one after another, and now, he had gathered countless abilities. It was time to use them all properly. He activated his Mentis scythe, then launched an attack on the monster. But what happened next shocked him. His scythe did nothing. Not a single dent was made in Steelhorn's armored body. Jungo growled in frustration. His scythe can't even put a scratch on the Steelhorn's body. Steelhorn's body was unbelievably tough. Still, he reminded himself, monsters like this often had one weak spot, the stomach. It was usually the least armored part. So he lunged in and slashed at the beast's gut, and it worked. Steelhorn roared in pain, but then, in a violent rage, it shook Jungo off and flung him backwards. As he hit the ground, Jungo groaned. Steelhorn was massive, and typically creatures that big were slow, but this monster? It was fast, unnaturally fast. Then, to Jungo's horror, Steelhorn unleashed a lightning attack, using Lu Yao's absorbed power. Jungo's eyes widened. What? It can use the powers it's absorbed? Just how many abilities does this damn thing have? The lightning exploded in a deafening blast, smoke and fire engulfed the battlefield, and when the smoke cleared, no one was left standing. From a distance, Steelhorn watched and thought, "It's over, there's no one left." But then, from the haze, Jungo emerged. He had activated his Trent skin ability, turning his skin into wood, granting him incredible resistance to electricity. Even an attack that powerful had barely left a mark. Jungo stood tall. "If you possess the power of the environment, then no monster can harm you. I'm confident, no matter how many attacks it throws at me, I have the defense to survive them." But then his expression darkened. Defense wasn't enough. He needed a powerful attack to finish the fight. Defense alone wouldn't win this war. Then, suddenly, an idea hit him. He extended his arm, grabbed Justin's sword, and slammed his foot into the ground. Vines burst upward, rushing toward the monster. Jungo recalled absorbing a wood-type monster earlier, which had granted him both wooden skin and the power to control vegetation. In a jungle like this ability is incredible. Vines snaked around Steelhorn's limbs, holding it in place. Jungo charged in, ready to land a devastating final blow, but Steelhorn, sensing danger, released another absorbed ability, and shattered the vines instantly. Jungo stumbled back, gritting his teeth. Just how strong is this bastard? He noted that Steelhorn had combined his physical strength and ability to break through Jungo's technique. Now that Jungo was too close, dodging was no longer an option. He admitted to himself that he would have to fight hand-to-hand this time. He then activated his elastic muscle ability, dramatically increasing his physical power. With his full strength, he launched a devastating blow aimed right at Steelhorn's horn. The attack didn't hurt Steelhorn at all, but the sword that Jungo had borrowed from Justin broke apart completely. As Jungo retreated, he sarcastically remarked that the sword was as useless as its master. He said he didn't need such weak tools. Meanwhile, Steelhorn charged at him with deadly speed, intending to finish him off. Jungo muttered an apology to Steelhorn, saying that he too enjoyed games, but this one was about to end. He told Steelhorn that he was about to gain an ability that would make things far more difficult for him. With that, Jungo bit off a chunk of Steelhorn's horn. The system notified him, "You've acquired the beast horn technique of Steelhorn." Almost immediately, Jungo's body was surrounded by a powerful armor. He admired it, calling it an incredible piece of equipment. A long and brutal battle followed between Jungo and Steelhorn, lasting nearly half an hour. When it ended, the entire surrounding area lay in ruins. Catching his breath, Jungo admitted to himself that killing Steelhorn had been extremely difficult, but in the end, victory was theirs. After defeating Steelhorn, a key materialized before Jungo. The system announced, "You've obtained the key to the secret realm. If you use it within the time limit, you'll be granted access to the realm, and a chance to become much more powerful." Jungo was shocked. "What is this secret realm? For now, I should get out of here. I'll ask about it later." As Jungo carried Liu Yao outside, an announcement blared. During training, a major accident occurred. 5 trainees entered an E-rank abyss. 3 have died. 1 is unconscious. 1 has minor injuries. Evacuate all surviving trainees to the hospital immediately. The scene shifted to a hospital. Jungo was being restrained by a military officer who demanded an explanation. "Tell me exactly what happened in there. How are you the only one who survived? 3 died. 1 is in critical condition. You can't possibly be strong enough to make it out alone." Jungo was unsure how to respond. Should he say he was just lucky, and managed to escape from the boss monster? But eventually, they'd find out that the boss had actually been killed, then they would accuse him of lying. Still, he knew he had to say something. The officer wasn't going to let this go. Just then, the chief commander entered the room and interrupted. He said he had been observing the situation for some time, and it seemed to him that the officer was trying to place all the blame on their vice captain's recruit. The commander noted that not once had anyone thanked Jungo for saving Liu Yao and bringing her back alive. Instead, "You keep blaming this boy. For your information, it was my decision to send Jungo into the abyss, so if you're accusing him, you're also accusing me. Are you implying that I orchestrated this incident?" Flustered, Commander V immediately backpedaled. "No, sir. I wasn't suggesting that. I just meant that what happened was a terrible tragedy. We entrusted those children with our full faith, and they were killed." The chief commander calmly replied, "Settle down. You know very well how dangerous the abyss is. According to the report, these trainees violated orders and fought the boss monster directly. That's why this happened. The fault lies entirely with those who entered and disobeyed orders, and they've paid a heavy price for it." He added that placing blame now would do no good. He hoped the officer understood that. and emphasized that Jungo should no longer be harassed. Turning to Jungo, "You're free to go." As Jungo walked away, he reflected on the immense authority of the chief commander. Even the officer, who was commander level himself, couldn't muster the courage to talk back. Jungo recalled what the cockroach god had told him. The chief commander holds the peak power of humanity. He wondered how someone could be that strong. Later, standing on the rooftop, Jungo contemplated the chief commander's protection. Was he helping me because I was chosen by Elaine? He began to realize something crucial. The military and the extermination squad were not the same. They were entirely different forces operating in distinct ways. Judging by what he had seen, the extermination squad seemed to hold more authority, which was why the commander hadn't dared speak up earlier. But he quickly shook off the thought. I don't have time to dwell on politics. What matters now is the secret realm. I need to understand what it is, and how it can make me stronger. But who should I ask? Just then, the cockroach god appeared and spoke up. You've been wondering who to ask about the secret realm while I've been right here? He explained that the secret realm was a hidden dimension, unknown to most people. Only those with the key could access it, and Jungo had the key. Let me be clear, the secret realm is a place no ordinary human can enter. The only reason you can, is because you're not entirely human. He revealed that Jungo's DNA had mutated. It resembled that of a monster more than a human. When Jungo had fought Steelhorn inside the abyss, the realm hadn't seen it as a battle between a human and a monster, but rather a fight between two monsters for domination. That's why, when you won, the abyss rewarded you with the key, a symbol of your new status as a boss. It's your ticket to uncovering the truth about your place in the hierarchy. Jungo, clearly in shock, tried to process what he had just heard. So you're saying, this dungeon is a place only I can enter, and once I do, I can become incredibly powerful. The cockroach god nodded. Yes, you've understood it exactly right, but let me give you a clear warning. Don't assume that the monsters inside will be weak. If you're expecting an easy fight, then you're completely mistaken. The monsters you'll face in there will be far stronger than anything you've encountered before. In fact, the boss monster alone will be extraordinarily powerful, maybe even more than anything you've ever faced. There's a chance you might go up against a monster similar to the mushroom beast, powerful, intelligent, and capable of strategy. Fighting such a creature won't be easy. You'll face real trouble. And it's highly likely that it'll also be heavily infected. Jungo clenched his fists. But I was told there's a countdown. If I don't use the key before time runs out, I'll lose my chance forever. The cockroach god nodded again. Yes, you've got 24 hours. If you don't enter the dungeon within that time, the key will disappear. So tell me, Jungo, will you go? Django looked at the key in his hand. I made a promise to myself after that last battle. I swore I'd never stay weak again. I want power, more than anything. That's why I'll enter this dungeon. But, before I do, there's one thing I need to take care of. Just killing Steelhorn almost ruined me. It took everything I had. And judging by what you said, this new dungeon is on a completely different level. There's a high chance I'll die in there. So before I walk in, I need to fulfill one last wish. Later, Jungo stood in front of Aline. He looked awkward, a little nervous, and said, Aline, please, just one date with me. She glared at him, clearly unimpressed, and punched him across the face. You've got some nerve asking me something like that. If you really have the guts, try saying it again. I swear I'll punch you even harder. But Jungo didn't flinch. You can hit me as much as you want, but please, just go on one date with me. Aline sighed in frustration and began pummeling him repeatedly. After several hits, she stopped and asked coldly, So, what is it you wanted to say so badly? Do you still have the courage to repeat it? Jungo wiped blood from his mouth, smiled faintly, and said, I could say it 1,000,000 times if I have to. Please, Aline, go on a date with me. This time, Aline hesitated. She looked at him more carefully. He's not joking. There's something serious in his eyes. She had seen that look before, in soldiers walking into missions they knew they wouldn't return from. And now, Jungo's eyes looked exactly like theirs. She sighed again. But this time there was no anger in her voice. If this is really what you want, then I won't say no. Then, unexpectedly, she burst out laughing. You know, I honestly didn't think anyone would ever have the guts to ask me out. But Jungo, you've got more courage than I thought. Most guys would have died from those punches. But you didn't give up, even after all that. So fine, I'll go with you. Soon after, Jungo and Aline were sitting together at a quiet cafe, sipping coffee like an ordinary couple. They shared smiles, jokes, and a rare sense of peace. After that, they went to watch a horror movie together. Finally, they spent the evening walking through amusement park, laughing and enjoying the moment like it was the best day of their lives. While walking back, Jungo broke the silence. You know, Aline, this was my first real date. I've been dreaming about this day for 20 years. Before the monsters came, I used to watch couples like this, and I always imagined I'd have my turn someday. I had everything planned out, the perfect day, the perfect moments, but I never had anyone to go with. Now, I've finally fulfilled that wish, and even if I die after this, I won't regret anything. There's probably nothing left in life that I haven't done now. Aline's voice softened. Jungo, if it had been anyone else, I would have said no. But when I looked into your eyes today, I saw something different. I've seen a lot of soldiers walk into hopeless battles. When death is staring someone down, their eyes change. And today, your eyes, they had that same look. You asked me out like it was your last wish. And now that I've heard your story, I'm certain it was your last wish. But listen to me, Jungo, even if you've completed every wish on your list, nothing is more important than choosing life. I don't know what happened to you in that last dungeon, and I don't know what's really going on in your head, but if there's even a single chance that you can survive and come back alive, then fight for it. Give it everything you have, because maybe, just maybe, you'll get something better than you ever imagined, something even your wishes couldn't predict. Her words struck Jungo like lightning. She's right. How can I accept death before I even try? At the very least, I want to go out fighting in a way that makes me proud of myself. Looking at Aline with gratitude, he said quietly, "Thank you for giving me the strength I needed. Honestly, I really needed this." Aline smiled and replied gently, "I hope you live, and that you come back with enough courage to ask me out again. If you're ready to take another beating, then I'm ready to go on another date." Later, Jungo was seen standing atop a tall building. The cockroach god spoke to him with a hint of amusement, saying, "Most people's last wishes are grand, but yours was surprisingly simple, just to go on a date." Jungo replied with a bitter smile that even simple things had always been out of his reach in life. "That's why something this ordinary meant so much to me." He then declared that it was time to enter the secret realm, and with that, he activated the key of secret realm, opening a glowing portal before him. As Jungo looked at the swirling portal, he thought logically he shouldn't go in. He already had devouring powers, and by consuming others, he could become stronger over time. But that version of Jungo, the one who relied on others, was dead. "I'm not the same man anymore. I'll carve my own destiny. I need power, and I'll claim it myself." And with that resolve, Jungo stepped into the portal. Inside the secret realm, known as Darkwood Forest, Jungo observed the environment. This forest, it's completely different. Actually, it's far more dangerous. Suddenly, a snake-tailed monkey emerged from the shadows. This wasn't like the ones he'd faced before. It was the monkey's giant form, transforming in response. Jungo thought, the old me would have run away, but now I know exactly what I must do. With renewed determination, he leapt forward and began slashing at the monstrous creature. The good thing is, because of its size, it's slow. Just one more strike and I can kill it. But before he could land the final blow, another ape-like creature appeared and grabbed Jungo's leg. "Wait, there's more than one?" He was slammed violently into a tree. His armor cracked from the impact. Just a single hit had done this much damage. Then, multiple monkeys rushed in and tore Jungo into two. Injured and gasping, Jungo hid among the trees, thinking, "I need to stay out of their sight. If they spot me now, they'll rip me apart." Using his ability, he released a thick toxic gas. The monkeys were unable to see through it. Slowly, thanks to his immortality, Jungo's body began to heal. Within just 5 minutes, he was fully recovered. He assessed the situation carefully. These monkeys, they're weaker than the steel horn, but the problem is, they fight in packs, which drastically amplifies their strength. If I didn't have immortality, I'd already be dead. He knew he could defeat them one-on-one using his kick attacks, but a whole group? Impossible. Then, a strategy struck him. Wait, this realm isn't that different from the abyss. In the abyss, spiders were the natural predators of monkeys. They'd trap them in webs and kill them. If I can lure these monkeys into those webs, I might stand a chance. With that, Jungo made all his pollen vanish and stepped into the open. "Come catch me, you stupid monkeys." He ran, intending to lure them toward the spider territory. "If I can just lead them to those spiders, things will get so much easier." Activating his frogly power, Jungo dashed forward at incredible speed, thinking, "This might be the only chance I get to win. No matter what it takes, I'll do it." Just then, a monkey grabbed his leg again, but Jungo instantly transformed his foot into mucus and slipped free. He whispered, eyes fixed ahead, "Finally, I've found them." His system confirmed. Target identified. Giant spiders, guardian-level monsters. Without hesitation, Jungo activated his white feather and flew out of sight. he noted that the monster form he had taken was one that spiders instinctively feared. They had seen it and didn't dare attack him. In my previous missions, I absorbed so many monsters, and now, I'm finally seeing the benefits. Soon, the giant monkeys got caught in the spider webs. Just as he planned, the spiders emerged and began attacking. They injected venom directly into the monkeys, and despite their strength, the monkeys were no match for the poison. One by one, they fell. Watching from above, Jungo thought to himself, even after everything, I couldn't beat those monkeys, but these spiders, they're killing them like it's nothing. He observed the web's strength. Once trapped, escape was nearly impossible. They use these webs to hunt other monsters, but it looks like their job's about to get tougher. More monkeys arrived to rescue their kin, and other monsters followed. It's going to be an all-out war, spiders versus monkeys, and as expected, the two groups clashed violently. Jungo smirked, watching the chaos unfold. Everything is going exactly how I wanted. Two natural enemies tearing each other apart, and they don't even realize I'm sitting up here, enjoying the show. With that, he activated his Mentis scythe and dove into the battlefield. In one clean strike, he sliced a spider in half. Killing these spiders would have been hard otherwise, but since their attention is elsewhere, I can finish them off easily. He attacked again, and another spider was gone. Jungo was thinking to himself, let these fools keep fighting among themselves while I stay here and keep collecting all the profit. As long as their battle continues, I'll keep absorbing their abilities and quietly make my escape. Moving forward, Jungo devoured a monkey-like monster. Now I'll gain its traits, and my body will become even more powerful than before. However, even after waiting for a while, nothing happened. Frustrated, Jungo muttered, Cockroach God, come here quickly, the abilities you gave me aren't working at all. Just then, the Cockroach God appeared and scolded him, saying that Jungo was a complete fool. He reminded Jungo that he'd had the Devour ability for quite some time now, but still hadn't learned how to use it properly. He explained that a simple bite wasn't enough to absorb a monster's power. To truly gain its abilities, Jungo needed to devour the part of the monster's body where its main strength resided. I know you're not sharp enough to figure that out on your own, so from now on, I'll mark the exact spot on their bodies. Wherever you see a mark, devour that part. You'll gain some truly exceptional powers that way. Suddenly, Jungo noticed that the monkey monster's arm began to glow. The system notified him that the creature's main power was located in its biceps. Without hesitation, Jungo lunged forward and devoured that exact spot. The system then confirmed that he had acquired a new ability. Previously, he had the snake ape long arm, but it had now upgraded to the giant snake ape arm, with power nearly 20 times stronger than the previous version. Excited, Jungo exclaimed that he could actually feel the power coursing through him. His arms now felt charged with a unique kind of energy. Looking around, he realized that this battle would likely go on for a while, giving him plenty of time to absorb even more powers. Looks like I'm going to benefit a lot from this fight. As he continued collecting new skills, Jungo eventually unlocked 4 new abilities. Grinning with satisfaction, he declared, now I have the same cycle of abilities those monsters had. They're no use to me anymore. It's time to wipe them all out. With lightning-fast speed, Jungo eliminated the remaining monsters. After that, he made his way through the dense jungle and arrived at a large door. He asked Cockroach God, what is this place? The Cockroach God replied that behind this door lived the boss of the entire secret realm. Jungo admitted, to be honest, this aura feels overwhelmingly powerful. Suddenly, Jungo noticed something glowing nearby. Curious, he picked it up. The Cockroach God told him it was called a secret realm gem, or rare magical crystal found only in secret realms. He explained that the gem had likely taken hundreds of years to form by absorbing the bodies of countless fallen monsters, and in doing so, it had acquired an immense amount of energy. This one gem alone holds more power than you could ever imagine. He also told Jungo he had 2 options. First, absorb the entire gem to massively boost his own power instantly. Second, absorb only half of it and use the remaining half to open a portal, which would allow him to escape the realm whenever he wanted. Jungo, fascinated by the item, thought, this gem really is incredible, but honestly, I don't want to use it just yet. He hadn't fought the realm's boss monster yet, so he wasn't even sure if he needed the gem's power at all. He decided to first face the boss and assess the situation before making any decisions. He acknowledged to himself that opportunities like this wouldn't come again, so escaping now wasn't an option. Resolute, Jungo moved forward and stood before the boss monster. The boss was revealed to be a heavy-horned beast man, whose danger level wasn't even shown on Jungo's system. He realized, this monster is so powerful, I can't even read its level. That means the difference in our power is massive. We must be at least 20 meters apart, and yet, I can still feel the pressure from him clearly. Jungo admitted to himself that this beast truly was something extraordinary. The boss monster then spoke. So, a human has entered here? You must be the one who killed my steel horn. Shocked, Jungo thought, another monster that can speak? And it says I killed its steel horn? That means these monsters have their own society. They distinguish between themselves and others just like humans do. Without warning, the boss lunged forward and launched a devastating attack on Jungo, shaking the ground and breaking the terrain around them. The beastman sneered and asked whether Jungo had survived. To his surprise, Jungo emerged unharmed. He had activated his monkey arm ability just in time. The beastman then asked, "How did you even get here? I haven't opened any portal from your world." Jungo, once again shocked, thought, wait, does that mean opening a portal is under his control? That's dangerous. If these secret realm monsters start coming to Earth, people will think some other kind of portal opened, but in reality, it'll be these extremely powerful monsters invading from the inside. The beastman growled, "I've been talking to you for a while, but you're not responding. Seems like you're not interested in a conversation. Fine then, I'll just kill you." With that, he stabbed Jungo and threw him back violently. The system reported that Jungo's body had sustained a critical injury, and as a result, the immortality ability had been activated to begin recovery. The beastman, shocked by what he witnessed, exclaimed that something strange was happening. Jungo's wounds were healing at an unnatural speed. He remarked that although Jungo looked human, there was something far more monstrous about him. No human could possess such an advanced regenerative ability. Acknowledging the uniqueness of Jungo's body, the beastman declared that after killing him, he would conduct research on his corpse to uncover the source of this mysterious power. Without hesitation, the beastman launched another ferocious attack on Jungo, but just in time, Jungo activated his dynamic vision. The system explained that this ability would allow him to perceive high-speed movements as if they were in slow motion. Amazed, Jungo thought to himself that this ability was truly incredible. He could now track the monster's attacks with ease. Although the boss monster was incredibly powerful, its attacks were relatively simple and predictable. Dodging them wasn't as difficult as it initially seemed. As the beastman's next blow came in, Jungo quickly stepped to the side and dodged it with precision. Advancing strategically, Jungo thought that the only edge he had in this battle was speed. With that in mind, he activated his slime ability on his arm. His thoughts raced. No matter what, I need this creature's power. If I can obtain it, fighting him will become much easier. But just then, the beastman landed a hit, knocking Jungo aside with immense force. Frustrated, Jungo wondered how he could even reach the monster. The beastman wasn't allowing him to get anywhere close. Mocking him, the beastman said he felt ashamed to use his weapon against such a lowly creature. Instead, he would fight with his bare hands, claiming that even his punches were more than enough for someone like Jungo. He then began pummeling Jungo repeatedly. Jungo was severely wounded, barely hanging on. The beastman questioned if he was still alive, admitting he was surprised Jungo's regeneration had lasted so long. Jungo, however, had a plan. He thought to himself how lucky he was to have the elastic muscle ability. By using it strategically, he had absorbed the impacts from the punches, preventing serious internal damage. Remarkably, his internal body had remained untouched. The beastman, now visibly bored, told Jungo that he was tired of beating him. He declared that with his final attack, he would end it all. Laughing, he said he had enjoyed pounding a human for once. He then lunged at Jungo with his weapon, but at the last second, Jungo activated his steel armor ability and shielded himself. The system explained that this power had come from the steel horn monster, and it allowed Jungo to harden any part of his body, significantly boosting his defense. The fight escalated. A violent clash erupted between the two. Jungo and the beastman exchanged punches at full strength. Jungo noted that his skin had become incredibly hard, allowing him to withstand the beastman's blows. However, the monster's flame-infused punches were starting to melt his outer layer. Jungo admitted to himself that other than his current skills, there might be no other way to survive this encounter. At that moment, Cockroach God appeared again and warned Jungo that he had used up too much of his immortality and regeneration. If he needed healing again, the god wouldn't be able to help. He urged Jungo to use the secret realm gem to escape while he still had the chance. There's no benefit in dying here. But Jungo stood firm. He told himself he hadn't lost yet, and unless he truly fell, he would not accept defeat. He remembered how hard he had worked to get this far, and how just yesterday, he had sworn an oath to become powerful. That wasn't a promise he was ready to break. Not today. With renewed resolve, Jungo launched an attack using his monkey arms, aiming directly at the beast man, but the monster spun his weapon and effortlessly knocked Jungo backward once again. The beast man growled that he had already said he was bored and that Jungo clearly wasn't listening. To finish it once and for all, the beast man activated his lava burst, manipulating the molten lava around him and hurling it toward Jungo. Dodging frantically, Jungo could feel the intense heat. He realized that even a slight touch from the lava would melt his body completely. Using his frog leap ability, he attempted to flee, but the lava relentlessly chased after him, and several droplets even burned his body. Gasping in pain, Jungo admitted, "It's impossible to dodge every drop." The system notified him that immortality had been activated again, but even so, the system warned that this wound couldn't be healed. The injury was too dangerous, and because Jungo was still taking continuous damage, healing was impossible. Until the damage ceased, recovery could not begin. Jungo found himself wondering in shock what kind of attack this was. He realized that even his immortality ability wasn't working because of it. Before he could react further, the beast man launched another assault, this time using molten lava. The beast man admitted that he had initially planned to research Jungo's body after killing him, but now, he no longer had any interest in such a worthless specimen. He would simply melt him down. Jungo, in turn, acknowledged to himself that he was going to die today, but if he had to die, he swore he would take the beast man down with him. With that, Jungo forged a steel armor spear and began advancing toward the beast man, cutting straight through the lava. He muttered that the ongoing fight had driven him crazy, and now, he too was finally ready to get serious. With that resolve, he attacked the horns of the beast man, but the result was underwhelming. Only small cracks formed on the horn. The beast man laughed and mocked him, saying, "You said you were getting serious. Is this all you can do even at full power?" Without giving him a moment to recover, the beast man unleashed a brutal lava-infused punch, one so intense that within 2 minutes, Jungo was left completely scorched and nearly unconscious. Watching helplessly, Cockroach God pleaded with Jungo to listen. He warned that the monster was far more powerful, and operated on a level way beyond Jungo's current capabilities. No matter how hard you try, you cannot win this fight. The god reminded Jungo that out of all the people in 5,000 years, he had been the first human to ever ask him for something. That was why the god didn't want to see Jungo die. Not here. Not like this. He insisted that he didn't care what Jungo wanted. He was activating the secret realm gem and opening the portal. It was time for Jungo to escape, but Jungo refused. He smashed the gem with his hand, stunning the god. Cockroach God yelled, calling him a fool and demanding to know what he had done. He reminded Jungo that this was his last chance to survive. Jungo calmly responded that he had already accepted death long ago. He was no longer afraid of dying. All he wanted now was to do something meaningful before he died. Something that would make him feel proud, even in death. At the very least, he hadn't run away. He had stayed and fought with everything he had. The god declared that Jungo had lost his mind. But just then, they witnessed something incredible. The entire power of the gem flowed into Jungo's body. His body began to glow intensely, radiating with energy. Even the beast man was shocked. He asked aloud what was happening, confused how this boy, who had been completely drained just moments ago, was suddenly emitting such overwhelming power. The system then notified Jungo that he had passed the second trial of the cockroach god, simply by not running away from death. As a reward, his fighter form was now being unlocked. As Jungo looked down at his glowing body, he asked in amazement what this power was. He could feel a new strength awakening inside him, something completely different from what he'd known before. He asked Cockroach God what exactly this fighter form was. The god explained that fighter form was a kind of evolution. In this form, Jungo could freely use all his abilities, and even more impressively, he could fuse and evolve them. He assured Jungo that he'd soon come to understand just how powerful this form truly was. Before Jungo could explore it further, the beast man attacked once again, launching a full-scale lava stream at him. It hit Jungo directly, but when the smoke cleared, everyone saw that Jungo had not suffered a single scratch. Cockroach God smiled and reminded Jungo of what he had said. The fighter form could fuse and evolve abilities. Previously, Jungo had only been able to use one type of armor at a time, but now, his armor had combined the cockroach shell, the elastic toad skin, and the hardness of steel armor into one fully fused form. The cockroach god explained that the result of fusing 3 types of armors was a dramatically evolved state with unbelievable durability. The lava stream, once devastating, now had no effect on him. He continued, revealing that as Jungo acquired more abilities, the fighter form would continue to evolve. If he could defeat and absorb the Beast Man, even its powers would become part of him. Jungho admitted that he had nearly lost himself to the Beastman's earlier attacks, but fighter form had saved him, and now, without a doubt, he believed this was his ultimate form, one in which he could defeat anyone. Now, he declared, this fight would finally be an even match. Meanwhile, Beastman assumed that human must be dead. No one could survive my lava stream. But Jungho emerged through the smoke and landed a crushing punch. The system announced that Jungho had combined elastic muscle and monkey arm, giving his strike tremendous power. Cockroach God reminded him, in fighter form, you can activate multiple skills at once. Using them in combination greatly amplifies their power. Shocked, Jungho admitted, I never thought a single punch of mine could have this much impact. The attack and defense of this form are insane. Cockroach God added, didn't I tell you? This form multiplies your agility, stamina, and strength tenfold. Jungho grinned, Cockroach God, you're amazing. Beastman, still reeling, said, even after such a deadly attack, your body doesn't have a single scratch. How can a human be this powerful? He lunged at Jungho, but Jungho activated dynamic vision, elastic muscle, and mantis scythe simultaneously, easily blocking every strike. Then he extended his leg and delivered a devastating kick. Jungho taunted, you enjoyed beating me up earlier, didn't you? Well, now it's my turn. I'll drag you into the ground. Extending his arm, he slammed Beastman down with overwhelming force. Beastman roared as he stood, I can't accept this. How can a mere human be so strong? Just seconds ago, you were fighting like a weakling. No matter what happens, I will not lose to you. He swung a massive punch, but Jungho blocked it with his own fist, sending Beastman crashing backward. Beastman gasped, what is going on here? Just 2 minutes ago, you didn't have this kind of power. How did you grow so strong so fast? He looked back at his weapon and started toward it, thinking, I came here to open a portal into their world, but that doesn't matter anymore. What matters is killing this brat. I'll use my full power to destroy him. Watching Beastman prepare, Jungho thought, what is he planning now? It looks like he's going to destroy this entire place. Beastman sneered, you had plenty of chances to kill me earlier, foolish human. Instead, you let me recover and prepare. Now, you've thrown away your final chance. This time, you're not escaping my hands alive. Jungho replied coldly, we'll see who dies here. Time will tell. Using his enhanced vision, he scanned every weak spot on Beastman. Cockroach God explained, this is another perk of fighter form. If you have multiple vision powers, this form combines them all. That's why you can see this monster's critical points. Absorb a more powerful creature later, and you'll even be able to see exactly where to strike for a one-hit kill. Jungho then dashed forward at blistering speed. Beastman was stunned. Where did that kid go? In an instant, Jungho appeared and struck him with a brutal kick. Terrified, Beastman muttered, I'm no monster, he is. Jungho activated Frog Leaf and Mantis Scythe, declaring, before I kill you, I'm going to use your powers. Then he bit off Beastman's horn. Beastman shouted, boy, you're wasting time. You've had so many chances to finish me off, but every time, you let me recover. And now, I've completely regained my full strength. You're about to witness the true power of a Beastman. With that, Beastman created a massive tornado of lava. If you have the guts, survive this. This is the ultimate form of my lava burst. I've buried the mightiest enemies with this attack, and you're just a human. No matter how strong you are, victory will be mine. As he launched the attack, Jungho spoke calmly, you think a human can never defeat you? That's your biggest mistake. You call me foolish for giving you chances, but I was giving you time to show me everything you have, so you'll have no regrets when you die. When your life ends, you should know you challenged the wrong man. With a surge of power, Jungho completely destroyed the massive lava tornado with ease. Beastman stood frozen, shocked beyond belief, as his most powerful attack was effortlessly obliterated before his eyes. Beastman shouted, no, this is impossible. My attack has never failed before. How can it fail against a mere human? Jungho smirked, no one's probably ever told you this before, but your horn tastes just like black pepper. And you know what? I really love black pepper. You're not getting out of here alive. I'm not just going to kill you, I'm going to eat you. Meanwhile, Beastman muttered nervously, Mom, I want to go home. There's a monster here that actually eats other monsters. Jungho said coldly, you had so much faith in your ultimate move. Let's see whether it can even scratch you. As he spoke, Jungho started forming a lava tornado. The system announced, you have acquired a new attribute, Molten. Using this power, you can control lava. Since you gained this ability in fighter form, you've received a bonus. Your fire-based powers have leveled up into heavy lava. Jungo used his new ability to create a swirling lava cyclone. Terrified, Beastman begged, "Please spare me. If you want to rule this place, I'll serve you. I can even work as your servant. Just don't kill me." Jungo laughed, "You're too late for begging." With a single attack, he reduced Beastman to ashes. After the fight, Jungo discovered a glowing crystal. Shocked, he asked, "What is this thing?" Cockroach God explained, "This is called a monster seal. When you defeat a top-class monster inside a secret realm, you sometimes receive this seal. Using it, you can transform into that monster far more easily. You already have transformation powers, so you should know who to give this seal to." Jungo thought, "Right, I have Fatty. If I give this to him, he'll become incredibly powerful." He broke the seal, and the system announced, "Your Imperial Guard, Fatty, has been granted Beastman's power. He can now transform into Beastman at will." Imperial Guard fully recovered. "You may summon him anytime." Jungo smiled, "Good. I need to see Fatty. Last time, he was killed for nothing by Elaine." Just then, Fatty appeared, already transformed. "Boss, why are you so small now? You used to be much bigger." Jungo laughed, "This skill is amazing. That means any powerful monster I defeat in a secret realm, I can transfer its power to you. One day, you'll become as strong as me. You'll be a great help against any tough opponent." Fatty looked at his new body. "Boss, is this really me? I feel so ugly now. I used to be cute and handsome, but this body is awful." Cockroach God chuckled. "Jungo, Fatty has an incredible ability. He's now as strong as Beastman was, but unlike Beastman, Fatty can evolve alongside you. As you grow stronger, his forms will grow stronger too. In fact, he can take Beastman's power to a higher level, something Beastman himself could never do." Suddenly, a huge boulder crashed down. Fatty casually caught it with one hand and threw it aside. Crying, Fatty complained, "Boss, fix me. Look what happened to my body. I used to slip through door cracks, but now I'm huge. I'm not cute, I'm not handsome, please don't abandon me." Jungo punched him lightly. "You're my Imperial Guard. Do you really think you'll stay weak forever? If you want to stay by my side, you must become powerful. This is only your first form. In the future, you'll unlock many incredible forms. So stop whining and learn to use your power." Fatty summoned a spear just like Beastman's, and suddenly attacked Jungo with a powerful lava burst. The impact even damaged Jungo's fighter form armor, leaving cracks. Shocked, Jungo thought, "What's going on? Beastman couldn't harm me at all in fighter form. Yet Fatty's attacks are breaking through my armor." He turned to Cockroach God. "How is Fatty doing this?" Cockroach God explained, "Beastman had to maintain this entire secret realm, so he couldn't use his full power against you. Fatty doesn't have to divide his strength, so he can use Beastman's abilities at full force. That's why his attacks affect you. Imperial Guards are truly extraordinary. You'll learn just how extraordinary as time goes on." Jungo thought, "Ever since I gained Beastman's power, I've grown so much stronger. My most powerful ability has become Molten. The best part is that I can transform Fatty into a beast whenever I need him in a tough fight, but I'll only use him in extreme situations, and I'll never let humanity see him. If humans discover all my secrets, they'll definitely try to destroy me. That's why I won't trust anyone completely." He clenched his fist. "It's time to enter the tournament. Before, I wasn't ready, but now, with this new power, I'm fully prepared. No matter what obstacles I face in the selection tournament, I'll overcome them all. Extermination Squad, wait for me. Soon I'll join you, and I'll become the strongest member of your squad." 3 days later, the scene shifts to the arena. We see Jungo arriving to participate in the tournament. The entire audience is buzzing with excitement. Surprised, Jungo thinks, "So many people showed up just to watch? I thought this was going to be an ordinary tournament. This is strange." Aline says, "You don't need to be so shocked, Jungo. This tournament is extremely important for the entire Mingxi city. The Extermination Squad is the reason humanity has survived here at all. Without our squad, survival would have been nearly impossible. That's why people value this event so much. But this tournament isn't just about how many people get recruited into the squad. You could say it's a political battle, a fight between the most powerful figures in this city. There are 4 major families here, and each will definitely send their best members to compete. Whoever wins decides which family will rule the city for the next 4 years. It's like an election, except power, not votes, determines the winner. The family whose members perform the best will grow stronger and gain influence." Just then, a group of intimidating people walk past Jungo. He asks, "Aline, who are they?" Aline replies, "The man with the eye patch is Manhwa. Everyone around him is from the Bai family, one of the city's foremost powerful families. The Bai family controls the city's intelligence network, and to strengthen their influence, they've sent their top members here. Over there, see that man? His name is Tony Romanoff. He's representing the military. Honestly, he has the highest chances of winning. The biggest problem for our extermination squad is the military. Before our squad was formed, the military held all the power and respect. But after our squad proved itself, the military's influence diminished. Now they want to win this tournament to weaken us and restore their former dominance. If they regain full control, I guarantee the city's future will be in danger." Meanwhile, Tony says to Manhwa, "Brother, what do you think our chances are?" "Honestly, I'm just praying we make it into the top 4. I'd hate to be beaten by some minor family." Manhwa laughs, "Don't joke, Tony. Everyone knows how strong you are and where you'll rank. But just to be clear, our Bai family fully supports the Romanoff family, and will always stand by you." Others nearby comment that all 4 great families are incredible, each excelling in its own field. Suddenly, another major family enters the arena, represented by Saintess Karen of the church, one of the 4 families. Aline explains, "Saintess Karen has the power of mind control. Look at her followers. Notice how their eyes are all covered? That's because anyone who meets her gaze falls under her control until they look into her eyes again. To prevent accidents, she keeps her puppets blindfolded. Be careful, Jungo. Don't ever meet her eyes." Jungo frowns. "I'm getting a strange feeling from her. I really don't want to go near them." Aline continues, "The church isn't our enemy. In fact, they've often helped us. They reach places we can't, protecting ordinary people. Until now, they haven't done anything wrong. We have no personal conflict with them." Manhwa mutters, "The church must be serious this time. They've sent their saintess. She's never left the church before. For them to send her here is unusual." Tony scoffs, "Don't worry. No matter how powerful the saintess is, she won't surpass us in this competition. Besides, she's not our target. Our focus is elsewhere." Aline points to another competitor. "See that man over there with the glasses? He's representing the Zhong family. His name is Zhongji." As Zhongji approaches, Tony says mockingly, "I really pity the Zhong family. Looks like they didn't have anyone capable at all. That's why those poor people had to send their useless young master. Listen, Zhongji, I have a great deal for you. Surrender now and quit this competition. If you do, maybe we can convince Parliament to save a seat for your pathetic family. But if you compete here, it won't end well for you." Zhongji replies firmly, "Our Zhong family doesn't care about a seat in Parliament. We only know one thing: we will never become dogs of the military. We have always worked for the good of everyone, and will continue to do so." Tony sneers, "You talk too much for your size. Let me make this clear: refusing to surrender will be a huge mistake. Until now, this city has had 4 great families. After this competition, there will only be 3. Jungo, watching from the side, says, "Looks like these 2 families really don't get along." Aline nods, "You're right. The Zhong family runs the Esper Technology Institute. You could say all of our equipment was made by them. They serve as the extermination squad's right hand, but because they're researchers, they're the weakest in terms of raw power. The military wants to wipe them out so their influence in Parliament will grow massively, letting them control everything. Our chief commander is counting on you to perform brilliantly in this competition, Jungo. With your help, we can protect the Zhong family." Jungo answers confidently, "Don't worry, I'll give it my best." Saying this, Jungo hangs up the call. Aline says to the commander, "I've seen Jungo fight. He's incredibly powerful. But believing he can defeat the entire Romanoff family, that's asking a lot. Do you really have that much faith in him?" She thinks to herself, the chief commander has never been wrong. He's betting everything on Jungo. If Jungo loses, it's all over. If the military takes power, they'll destroy us first. The commander says, "We don't know much about Jungo, but I do know this: he's the one who rescued Lu Yao from the abyss. He was the least experienced member of that team, yet his performance was outstanding. That's why I believe he'll do just as well in this competition." The tournament begins. Crowds cheer for their own teams, excitement filling the arena. Heli steps forward and announces, "Welcome, everyone, to the first round of this competition. I am Heli, captain of Squad 10, and I will be your examiner today. I hope you all perform your best." This competition has 3 rounds. The first round is called Extreme Climb. Behind me is a mountain with 100 steps. If you climb at least 10 steps, you pass this round. Sounds easy, right? Just 10 steps. But let me warn you, in the last competition, over 60% of participants failed. Most of them didn't even make it past the 5th step, they collapsed before that. So do not underestimate this round. The crowd gasps in shock. 60% died just climbing stairs? How is that possible? Helly continues, we'll do our best to protect you, but you must be careful. If you feel you can't go any further, inform us immediately. If you try to push forward recklessly, I guarantee you will die. Now that I've explained, let's begin the round. Hearing this, many participants panic. No one dares to take the first step. Then one brash contestant laughs. I get it, this is just a test of courage. And when it comes to courage, I have plenty. These steps are nothing. I'll be the champion of this competition for sure. He and several others rush forward eagerly. Meanwhile, the 4 great families stay calmly at the back. Tony smirks. What idiots. They don't even realize they're running straight to their deaths. The arrogant contestant scoffs. So this is the power of the so-called great families? I've heard so much about them, but they're just cowards. I'm the first to step forward, and I'll win this easily. But the moment he sets foot on the 5th step, everything changes. The scene around him warps completely. The onlookers cry out in shock. What's happening? Weren't they just climbing the stairs a second ago? Why are they frozen now? Jungo frowns. Something's not right. They were moving fast. Now they're just standing still. Helly explains calmly. These fools thought it was a physical test. But this isn't physical, it's a test of mental strength. The stairs you see are no ordinary stairs. They're made from the bones of a Ghost King-class monster, one of humanity's most dangerous enemies, the strongest monster ever defeated. Even its remains hold immense power. The steps trap climbers in powerful illusions, and these illusions are not normal ones. If you're strong enough to overcome real-world problems, you'll pass the illusion and climb higher. But if you're weak, you'll die inside the illusion and never escape. Those who rushed ahead, they're probably already dead. Their own stupidity got them killed. Then Helly starts using her powers to resurrect everyone. Jungo, shocked, wonders, what did these people see that killed them all? Aline says, this test is extremely difficult. From the outside, it just looks like you're climbing stairs. But in reality, every step is a trap. In one trap, you might have to survive until the end. In another, you might have to kill a boss monster. Unless you conquer these illusions using your own abilities, you can't move forward. Jungo, I can't contact you now, so take care of yourself. Don't do anything foolish like those people who rushed ahead. Tony tells his team, remember, we have only one mission. No matter what, we must climb all the steps. With that, Tony and his team step onto the first stair together. When Tony opens his eyes, he's in a completely different world. A 5-minute timer appears, and suddenly a fire monster attacks him. Tony smiles, saying, good, a fire monster. Honestly, it'll be fun to kill this thing. I just need to hold it off for 5 minutes. This shouldn't be too hard. Working together, his team creates a shield from water, then freezes it in place. Using this, Tony finishes the monster off quickly. The illusion shatters, and his team starts moving forward. The commander comments, this is exactly what I expected from the Romanov family. Not only Tony Romanov himself, but his companions are extremely powerful. I can guarantee they're all elite military members. I have to admit, the military has put everything into winning this competition. Aline thinks to herself, how can the commander stay so calm? Doesn't he realize their strength is terrible news for us? Looking at him, it's as if he doesn't even care. The commander reassures her, don't get nervous, Aline. It's useless here. Trust our people. These first-level illusions are weak. They're designed to weed out those unfit to join our squad. Many worthless candidates try out, so level 10 exists just to eliminate them quickly. For those worthy of joining, clearing this stage is just a warm-up. The real trouble comes as they climb higher, because each step makes the illusion more dangerous. Eventually, they'll be forced to sacrifice their own teammates. As always, the 4 great families are leading the way. I can guarantee they'll push their limits to get ahead. For an ordinary person to match them, they'd need an extremely sharp mind, someone who notices everything before moving on. Remember, this competition isn't about time. It's about how many steps you can climb. Meanwhile, other participants notice, hey, there's still one guy standing at the bottom. What's he waiting for? Someone scoffs, he's scared, doesn't even have the guts to take a step. Jungo calmly prepares himself, then finally steps onto the first stair. The moment he does, he finds himself on a glacier. Jungo thinks, this illusion is amazing, it really feels like I'm inside a trap. He summons his spear to defend himself and transforms into fighter form. Suddenly, a powerful monster charges at him. Jungo smiles, fighting in this kind of terrain is tricky, but since I can choose which abilities to use, this shouldn't be a problem. He selects Spider Stinger and Tongue Snap as his abilities. With these two, I can kill it easily. In a single attack, he destroys the monster. This feels like a warm-up. Compared to the monsters I've fought before, this is nothing. Step by step, Jungo keeps climbing. According to what Aline told me, the tougher monsters ahead will be Guardian class. With my current power, I can handle them easily. When he opens his eyes again, he finds himself trapped inside glass. Jungo thinks, these illusions are unpredictable, they're so close to reality. He summons his spear and launches a deadly attack, destroying the entire maze. If I had only one ability, this would be hard, but I have so many that I can adapt to any environment. I'm confident I can move fast. Seeing his speed, nearby participants are shocked. The man next to Jungo says, after 2 steps, look at how much this guy is showing off. I heard we're supposed to be careful with our energy at first, because we'll be facing much more dangerous monsters later on. I guarantee this guy will get tired and give up very soon. But Jungo ignores them and starts sprinting upward. The participant stares in disbelief. He cleared level 10 in almost no time. They glare at the person who insulted Jungo. You fool. You called him a show-off to his face. Then those guys start beating him. If we'd known how amazing he is, we would have asked him for help. Because of you, we're falling behind. The man cries, I'm sorry. I didn't know he was this good. Meanwhile, watching Jungo, the commander thinks, this kid is fast. Honestly, even I didn't expect this much speed. Aline says, looks like Jungo will definitely pass. Commander Carey replies, you're underestimating this boy. My expectations for him are far higher than yours. Aline wonders, wait, does the commander actually think Jungo might top the rankings? The way he's climbing, maybe it's not impossible. Just a few days ago, he was weaker than me, no real combat experience at all. And yet he's improved so much in such a short time that even Chief Commander Carey is betting on him. In our entire history, only Carey himself ever climbed up to step 99. Is Jungo really about to surpass even him? Will he be the first to complete the stairs? We then see the other great family members climbing rapidly. Helly announces, the Bai family has declared they won't climb further. They've reached 38 steps in total. Saint Karen has also stopped at 35 steps. Currently, Tony Romanoff holds the highest score. He's already climbed over 40 steps and is still going strong. Looking back, Tony mutters, Zhongji, you idiot. You should never have joined this competition. Meanwhile, Zhongji is in serious trouble. His teammates have all been sacrificed. He fumes, those Bai family bastards. The moment we landed on the same step, they attacked us inside the illusion. That's why we're in such bad shape. If they hadn't interfered, everything would have been fine. What do I do now? I'm stuck at step 31. My family's record is 40. If I don't reach it, there'll be hell to pay. For the Zhong family, this could be the end. Tony looks back and says coldly, Zhongji, I'll make you an offer. Bark like a dog right here and leave this place immediately. Do that, and my Romanoff family will grant your family a seat. If you refuse, your family will be destroyed before your eyes. So, what's it going to be? Sacrifice yourself to protect them, or doom them by staying. Crying, Zhongji thinks, what should I do? I'm trapped. Suddenly, he hears footsteps. It's none other than Jungo, climbing alone, already at step 30. Shocked, Tony wonders, who is this guy? How did he get so high all by himself? Jungo passes Zhongji with ease. Zhongji thinks, this guy is incredibly strong. If we'd known someone this powerful lived in Mingxi City, we'd have recruited him no matter what. Aline urges, Jungo, you should help Zhongji. But Jungo ignores her and keeps climbing. Frustrated, she shouts, Jungo, can't you hear me? I said help him. Higher up, Tony's teammates grow exhausted. Tony snaps, our family spent a fortune training you. You're not allowed to quit now. Follow me, we're breaking our family record of 50 steps no matter what. But one by one, his teammates collapse and die from exhaustion. Tony grits his teeth, if that kid hadn't shown up, I'd never have pushed myself this hard. Let's see how far he's gone. He glances back, and sees Jungo right behind him. Stunned, Tony says, he made it this far alone? Jungo overtakes him easily, saying politely, you've done well. Don't worry, I can guarantee that you will definitely come in second place. Tony fumes, is he mocking me? Lucky for him he's still climbing, otherwise I wouldn't let this slide. As Jungo pauses, he taunts, what's wrong? Why'd you stop? You know, a real man never quits. Judging by your face, you're about to give up. So what should I think of that? Tony snarls, he's saying I gave up? Just wait here. I'll pass you. Helly announces, Jungo is currently in first place, already at step 60. Moments later, she updates. He's at step 82. Finally, Jungo has reached step 99, matching Chief Commander Carey's record. One more step and he'll be the first in history to complete the first round. The crowd erupts. Unbelievable. He's actually done it. At first he looked scared, like he wouldn't even start climbing. Now he's about to break the commander's record. Who is this guy? I've never heard of him. Others cry. We bet everything on Tony Romanoff, and now we've lost it all because of this Jungo. In the casino, even the owner is stunned. I know this kid. He came in earlier and bet his own organs that he'd win this round. I took his wager thinking he was a joke. But now, I'm in big trouble. Finally, Jungo climbs the last step. He says calmly, now that I've reached this point, I just have one question. Was this really all there was to the first round? Because honestly, this was way too easy for me. At that moment, Aline shouts, stop showing off. I told you earlier to go help Zhongji, but you ignored him and just kept climbing. You haven't even cleared a single round yet, and you're already flexing. Jungo replies calmly, relax. I'll definitely help Zhongji. Then, to everyone's shock, he starts climbing down at high speed. Spectators gasp. What is he doing? He's going down using the exact same steps he climbed up. That means he has to pass through every single illusion again. Does this guy really not care at all about the risks? Passing Tony on the way down, Jungo taunts, what's wrong? Out of breath already? You haven't even hit 50 steps and you're exhausted. You won't get far like that. Try working harder. Tony seethes inside, this bastard. He came all the way down just to insult me. Soon, Jungo reaches Zhongji. Zhongji, stunned, thinks, what on earth is going on here? Jungo simply picks him up and starts running down. Tony shouts in disbelief, what is this guy trying to do? Is he planning to carry someone and still clear every step alone? Is he seriously going to take on the difficulty meant for two people all by himself? Can a newbie really be this powerful, turning the first round into a joke? Jungo tears through every illusion with ease. For every type of environment, he uses a new ability to adapt instantly. Zhongji watches, thinking, at first I thought I would help him, but the monsters he's fighting? I'm completely useless. The best way I can support him is by doing nothing. Just sit still like I'm dead weight and let him handle everything. Before long, Jungo carries Zhongji to step 50. Zhongji is stunned. 50 steps? That's way beyond my family's record. Jungo reassures him, as long as you stick with me, no one will dare touch you here. Zhongji says gratefully, brother, thank you so much. I don't know why you're helping me, but I promise, once we're back, I'll repay your kindness. From today, you're a benefactor of the Zhong family, and we'll never forget this. Tony yells angrily, do you even know what you've done? My Romanoff family worked so hard to prepare for this day, and you've ruined everything. Let me make one thing clear, no one in Mingxi City has the guts to stand against us. Boy, you're not walking away from this alive. Hearing this, Jungo remembers Justin, a soldier from the military, and also recalls the commander who blamed Jungo for everything without asking questions. Jungo thinks, he's telling me not to mess with him? His military people messed with me a long time ago. These guys think they're untouchable, demanding that everyone kneel wherever they go. They don't even realize how many enemies they've made, and I'm one of them. Looking at Zhongji, Jungo says, that bastard's words must have really pissed you off. Want me to help you let out some anger? Zhongji grins, yes, brother. If you do this, I'll give you an extra reward. Jungo steps forward and lands a massive punch on Tony. As Tony falls, he thinks, Chief Commander Carey doesn't like us. But even he never openly moves against us. Who is this guy, daring to do it so openly? Doesn't he care that staying in this city will become impossible for him? Tony crashes down the steps, while the heads of the Bai family and the Romanoff family watch. The Romanoff family head growls, chanting, who the hell is this Jungo? I want everything on him. I expect a full report by tonight. Bai Shinting nods, understood, chairman. The Romanoff head adds coldly, I don't care who he is. Anyone who crosses our family doesn't survive in this city. This man is Rhodes Romanoff, chairman of parliament and current head of the Romanoff family. 2 days later, we see Jungo relaxing in his room, thinking, it's been 2 full days since the first round of the tournament ended, and everyone's still shocked by the results. Tony Romanoff, who was supposed to dominate, ended up in 3rd place because of me. I have to admit, he's strong. Even after I hit him hard, he still crawled up to the 49th step before collapsing unconscious. Before the round began, I placed a huge bet at the casino, everything I'd earned from Abyss, plus I even wagered my own organs. And because of that, I practically emptied the whole casino. Thousands of people bet on the Romanoff family, but I was the only one who bet on myself. My profits were insane. In the end, the casino boss was just happy I didn't kill him or rip out his organs. Right now, I'm holding 50 gold coins, but the boss went completely bankrupt paying me off. A lot has changed in Apocalypse, even the currency. 1 gold coin is worth about 100,000 yuan. Aline had mentioned that 50 gold coins is a very large amount. Even her annual salary isn't that much. And by helping Zhong family's young master, I also received a reward. On top of that, they promised me, if I ever need help in my life, they'll never refuse me. While eating, Jungo was thinking about all this when Aline suddenly walked into the room. Jungo looked up and asked, "What's wrong? Why do you look so angry?" Aline replied, "The Zhong family offered you a 3-story villa, but you turned it down just to stay in this dump? Jungo, are you out of your mind?" Jungo said calmly, "I have my reasons for staying here. That villa they offered was far away, and I didn't think it would be safe to live alone there. Where I'm staying now is much closer to the extermination squad, so if there's ever trouble, you guys can reach me fast." Jungo thought to himself, Aline's house is nearby. If I move too far away, it'll be much harder to see her. Aline crossed her arms. "All I'm saying is, in Apocalypse, money is extremely valuable. Don't waste it. The more you spend on becoming stronger, the better it is for you. Look, Jungo, there's an auction tonight. I'll take you there and show you how to actually use your money properly." Later, the scene shifts to night. Jungo and Aline have left for the auction. Looking around, Jungo said, "Where have you brought me? Honestly, this doesn't look like a place where an auction would happen." Aline explained, "Nothing sold here ever reaches the public market, but everything here is in huge demand. That's why they sell it in this place. They call it the black market." Jungo was shocked. "Black market? Isn't it illegal to buy things here?" Aline smiled. "In the world of Apocalypse, nothing is illegal." They approached a building. Aline knocked on the door and said firmly, "Stay close to me. This isn't the kind of place you can wander around." Inside, several guards surrounded them. One man stepped forward. "Show your invitation." "Nobody gets in without one." Aline calmly pulled out her invitation and handed it over. After verifying it, the man said, "Follow me." Soon they reached the auction hall, already crowded with people waiting. Jungo muttered, "I didn't expect so many people here." "Aline, is this place really legal?" Aline replied, "This place is backed by the Bai family. Whether it's technically legal doesn't matter. If the Bai family supports it, that's all the legality it needs. Ordinary people can't enter here, only those who can actually afford to buy things. That's why so few people ever receive invitations." Meanwhile, on the second floor, inside the Romanov family's private room, an agent named Hart was watching. A subordinate whispered, "Boss, that's Aline down there, and with her is that brat Jungo." Hart narrowed his eyes. "What a small world. That kid provoked our family the other day, and now he's sitting right in front of us." The auction begins. The host greeted everyone warmly. "Welcome, everyone. Tonight we have many treasures for you. Our first item, a mermaid's tail." The crowd buzzed with excitement. "That's an extremely rare monster part. Eating it greatly boosts strength. I've even heard it stops aging and makes you look younger. If we buy this, our girlfriends will love us for sure." The host announced, "The starting price is 1 gold coin." Bidders immediately started raising offers one after another. Cockroach God whispered to Jungo, "The mermaid's tail is just an F-grade item." Jungo frowned. "What? Only F-grade? Its traits aren't even that good, yet everyone's bidding so high." Aline explained, "It extends lifespan. Of course people will fight over it." The host then said, "We also have some leftover stock from our previous auction. Everything tonight comes with an incredible discount. Starting price, 100 copper coins." Some buyers scoffed. "Do they think we're stupid? Why would anyone buy such worthless junk?" Sure, monster corpses have value, but not every part is worth anything. Only a newbie would waste money on this. Cockroach God commented, "Look closely, there are multiple corpses here, and some are a rank and B rank." Jungo thought, maybe it's useless to them, but for me, this is the best stuff in the world. Suddenly Jungo stood up and shouted, "I'll buy it all." The host's eyes lit up with delight. "Finally, someone willing to take this off our hands. We thought we'd have to throw it all away." Aline groaned, "Jungo, you're such an idiot. You just bought the worst junk in the whole auction." The host continued, "Now, for our most amazing item of the night, a treasure recovered from a C-rank abyss." Aline's eyes sharpened. "Jungo, I'm done talking to you. The item I came here for is finally on stage, an ice magic crystal from a spider monster. Its purity is about 50%, and best of all, no one has ever used it before. For an ice-type awakener, this is incredible. It could massively boost their power. Starting price, 1 gold coin." Aline was thinking, last time I couldn't do anything with my soul blade. If I can get this ice crystal even once, my ice powers will increase a lot, and I'll be able to fight powerful monsters. Last time I was humiliated in front of that monster, and I'm not going to face that kind of shame again. With that thought, Aline placed a bid for the crystal. The host, looking pleased, said, "We have our first bid. Does anyone else want to bid on this incredible crystal?" Immediately, member of the Romanov family raised the stakes. The host announced, "Seat number 1 has bid 10 gold coins. Does anyone wish to increase the bid?" Hart muttered, "This ice magic crystal is exactly why I came here. Young Master Tony told me I have to secure it no matter what. And now, I won't let anyone else take it." Aline thought, so the Romanov family is bidding for this too. Looks like things are about to get very complicated. But if I'm being honest, I'm not backing down. She immediately raised the bid to 11 gold coins. Irritated, Hart said, "So she won't give up," and countered with 15 gold coins. Back and forth it went, until their bids reached 25 gold coins. Everyone in the hall was stunned. What's going on here? Who's sitting in seat number 17, daring to challenge the Romanov family? Whoever it is, they must be from the extermination squad, only they'd have the guts to do this. Jungo thought, the Romanov family won't back down. I hope Aline doesn't end up losing. Hart smirked. What even is Aline? Just a vice captain. Her yearly salary isn't even 50 gold coins. At most, she can pay 30 gold coins for this bid. But she doesn't realize, where her limit ends, the military's real power begins. Sure enough, Aline raised her bid to 30 gold coins, everything she had saved. The host smiled. Tonight's bidding war is truly exciting. Who will win, number 1 or number 17? Aline thought, if this bidding goes any higher, I won't be able to do anything. I've already used up all my savings. I have nothing left to give. Hart declared confidently, this isn't ending so soon. My bid, 35 gold coins. The crowd gasped in shock. Aline's heart sank. She knew she couldn't go any higher. Just then, a soldier walked up to her and said mockingly, "Vice Captain Aline, a message from my boss. Are you out of money already? If you can't afford to play, you shouldn't come to places like this. Why embarrass yourself here? This isn't a place for the poor." Hart laughed openly. Look at their faces. This is fun. The host asked one last time, "Does anyone wish to bid higher?" At that moment, Jungo leaned over, took Aline's bidder number, and shouted, "I bid 50 gold coins." The entire hall froze in shock. Aline thought, what on earth is Jungo doing here? Hart grinned. Looks like things are getting interesting. Honestly, I've been coming here on behalf of the Romanov family for years, and not once has anyone dared to bid against us, let alone beat us. This is the first time someone's even tried, and that's why defeating them now is even more important. He immediately countered with another bid. The host announced, seat number 1 has raised the bid to 55 gold coins. Jungo and Hart kept pushing the price higher and higher. The host exclaimed, "We've already reached 80 gold coins. Does anyone want to go higher?" Jungo stood up. "Yes. I'll pay 90. Aline whispered urgently, "Jungo, we can't go higher than this. You've already named an incredibly high price." Jungo thought, between me and Aline, we have about 80 gold coins. And Zhongji said the villa he's giving me is worth 20 gold coins. If I add it all together, we have enough. I'm not backing out of this bidding. Jungo said aloud, "Aline, there's no need to panic. You're the one who said we should spend whatever it takes to become stronger. Don't worry about the money. I'll talk to Zhongji." Just then, Zhongji walks in and says, "How could it be that my benefactor needs my help, and I refuse to give it? That's impossible. You don't have to worry about money at all. Whatever amount you fall short of, I'll cover it. Whether it's 50 gold coins or 100, it doesn't matter to me. I can pay the entire amount myself." Seeing Zhongji there, Aline was stunned. Meanwhile, Hart's men whispered to him, "Boss, we shouldn't keep raising the bid. We've already gone far beyond the family's budget. Going higher isn't wise." And look, Zhongji is sitting right beside them. The Zhong family may have less political power than us, but when it comes to money, they're never behind. There's no point in competing with them. At that moment, Jungo points a finger at Hart and taunts him. "What's wrong? Running out of money? Losers like you shouldn't even show up here. So, how does it feel to humiliate yourself?" Hearing this, Hart gets furious, but he can't raise his bid any higher. When the auction ends, everyone steps outside. Aline says gratefully, "Jungo, thank you so much. You really helped me today. Don't worry, I'll repay the money I borrowed." Jungo replies, "Forget about the money. We're all friends. We'd do anything to help each other." While they're still talking, the ground suddenly begins to shake. Shocked, Zhongji says, "What's going on?" There was no alert today. How can there suddenly be an earthquake? Aline answers, the squad just issued an emergency alert. Our city is facing an A-level threat. The scene shifts to the mountains outside the city. We see a massive abyss opening up in the ground, and terrifying monsters crawling out of it. Aline receives orders, evacuate every single person in the city to the rest houses. It's not safe for anyone to stay at home. Aline calls out, you all understand what to do, right? Jungo responds, don't worry, we're part of the squad. We'll do our best to protect everyone. Zhongji adds, I'll help too. With that, the three of them rush out to defend the city. Meanwhile, monsters were attacking, fires were raging everywhere, and announcements blared through loudspeakers. All civilians, head to the rescue shelters. Staying in your homes is no longer safe. Rescue squads were trying to control the panic. Don't push. Stay calm and move to the shelters. You'll all be safe, they shouted, guiding people to safety. But then, the soldiers spotted a massive swarm of monsters approaching from the sky. The creatures attacked directly, killing several squad members. Terrified civilians screamed, the soldiers are dead. Who's going to save us now? Chaos erupted as people ran in every direction. In the crowd, a little girl sobbed, Mom, where are you? I'm so scared. Moments later, her mother appeared and hugged her tightly. But before they could breathe a sigh of relief, spider monsters poured into the area, slaughtering people mercilessly. As they ran, the mother prayed, God, please save us. How did so many monsters invade our city? One spider monster lunged at them. The mother closed her eyes, bracing for death, when suddenly Jungo arrived, cutting the creature clean in half with a single spear strike. The woman cried in relief, thank you so much. If you hadn't come, we'd surely be dead. Elsewhere, Aline had captured two men. A soldier standing beside Jungo said, these two are shameless. They're members of Tony's team, powerful fighters, but instead of helping, they tried to hide among civilians to reach the rescue shelter. Jungo thought to himself, now I understand why Aline distrusts these military guys. They act noble on the surface, but deep down, they're cowards. If they cared, they would have fought to protect people, but instead, they ran. Aline ordered them firmly, as vice captain of Squad 1, I'm recruiting you to defend the city. Move out now and save as many civilians as you can. One man sneered, look, Aline, we're not heroes. We do everything for money. We're not dying for free, and we're not even part of your squad. When we work for the military, we get paid. If you're not paying us, you can't order us around. The second man added, if we get injured now, we won't be able to help our young master in the next round. Protecting the city is your squad's job, not ours. When we officially join, then we'll work. Until then, forget it. The first man said mockingly, not everyone's like Jungo here. If he wants to play the hero, that's his choice, but I'm out. Before he could walk away, Aline used her web power to slam him to the ground. Shocked, he shouted, Vice Captain, what are you doing? Irritated, Aline pressed her foot down on his chest. Seems like you don't understand. I wasn't asking for your permission. I gave you an order. If you disobey me, I can't say what the monsters will do, but I guarantee I'll kill you myself. The man yelled angrily, I'm an Olympic athlete, not a member of your squad. Why should I work for you? You're abusing your power. Jungo cut him off sharply, the city is being destroyed. Ordinary people are dying in front of us, and you don't even care. You've proven you're nothing but a dog of the four great families, a dog with no will of its own, doing whatever its master says. Suddenly, Aline received urgent orders. Gate 1 million is under heavy attack. Everyone who can hear this, get to the gate immediately. When they arrived, they saw massive explosions near the gate as giant mantis monsters tried to tear it down. Aline told Jungo, we can't wait for backup. If the gate falls, there's no chance of survival. We have to stop them now. They jumped onto the gate. Jungo said grimly, looks like we're too late. If we'd come sooner, more lives could have been saved. Aline replied, there are only two of us, and I see waves of monsters coming our way. No matter how hard we fight, we can't stop them alone. But if that cannon starts working, we might stand a chance. I'll fix it, you just hold them off for 2 minutes. Shocked but determined, Jungo said, I just need to hold them off for 2 minutes, but how can I possibly stop so many monsters alone? Looks like I have no other choice, I have to fight. Saying this, Jungo charged into battle, cutting monsters down. Smiling grimly, he muttered, killing these mantis monsters with their own techniques is actually pretty cool. Then he spotted a spider monster slipping past him. Using his sticky tongue, he grabbed it and hurled it away. Jungo roared, as long as I'm alive and standing here, not a single monster will enter this city. Even as he spoke, a monster struck him hard, healing his wounds. Jungo admitted, "These monsters are incredibly powerful. Their level is almost the same as that beast man I fought inside the abyss. Now I understand why those two cowards didn't want to fight. If anyone else took this hit, they'd be dead instantly. One mistake against these creatures means certain death. But no matter how strong they are, it doesn't matter to me. So many people have already given their lives to protect this city. I won't back down, even if I have to give my life, so be it. At least I'll die as a hero, not a coward." Dodging an attack, Jungo unleashed a devastating strike. "I need to rip through this monster's shell. To fight these creatures, I need their own skills." As Jungo devoured the monster, his arm transformed. He gained a dragon claw. Now this fight's going to get fun, for more monsters charged at him, but with a single sweeping strike, Jungo destroyed them all. Thinking the battle was over, Jungo lowered his guard. But another monster ambushed him, filling the area with smoke. While he fought fiercely, elsewhere a giant spider monster spawned dozens more spiders and sent them swarming toward the wall. Jungo muttered, "I just killed that thing, and now there's another army of spiders. At this rate, they'll never stop coming." He remembered Elaine's words, backup would arrive in 2 minutes. But where are they? Why can't I see them yet? Well, whether they come or not, it doesn't matter. I'm guarding this wall. If I fall back, everyone dies. No matter what happens, I'm not leaving. I won't let anyone die here. The moment I stepped onto the city wall, I became part of it. If these monsters break through, that means I'm already dead. Summoning his spear, Jungo braced himself. More flying monsters approached. Whoever's coming, come fast. No one's escaping me today. With that, Jungo unleashed a lava tornado, wiping out scores of monsters with a single attack. The scene then shifts to the city's defense room. A man yelled in frustration, "Damn it. What's going on out there? None of our defense systems are activating. Even the main crystal isn't responding. Try again. Get it working. If it doesn't power up, everyone's going to die." Another man, wearing glasses, replied, "Boss, I've tried everything. It's useless. The crystal isn't resonating. Without its power, nothing else will function." As they argued, someone entered the room. The captain demanded, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" The man with glasses looked closer. "Wait, he's just a kid. What's a child doing here?" "Hold on, that's the young master of the Zhong family. They're the ones who built this defense system. If they send him, he must know how to handle it." Zhong Ji stepped forward quickly and took control of the entire system. "I need to see what's wrong, fast." Examining the crystal, he found that it was functioning normally and sending proper signals. The hardware was fine. There's only one problem: someone deliberately planted a bug in the system, cutting off our energy supply. Who would do this? Because of that sabotage, our watchtowers couldn't warn us about the attack, our outer bunkers didn't stop the monsters, and even our defensive cannons were disabled. This cutoff has already cost lives. Who betrayed us and handed our city over to the monsters? He clenched his fists. "That doesn't matter right now. I need to fix this cutoff immediately." Zhong Ji announced, "I'm rebooting the entire system." As soon as he restarted it, all the city cannons roared to life and began firing, easily destroying waves of monsters. Everyone was saying, "The Zhong family is truly amazing. Now that their defense system is working, we won't have any problems." Zhong Ji replied, "It's great to see how exceptional the squad members are. If the extermination squad hadn't been here, the entire city would have been wiped out by now. And honestly, the church has done an incredible job too. 90% of the seriously wounded were healed by them in time. Even our intelligence bureau has performed well, evacuating civilians to rescue shelters quickly. If anyone's at fault, it's the people from the Romanov family. They failed to use their military resources properly. If they'd done their job, not a single life would have been lost. And to make it worse, they had no intention of helping us until they saw the city on the verge of destruction. Only then did they suddenly send soldiers. I'm sure these are the same people who cut off our energy supply. Sometimes I wonder how low the Romanov family will sink." While everyone celebrated, thinking the danger was over, Zhong Ji knew otherwise. A far greater threat still hangs over us. With the system rebooted, we can hold the monsters back for now. But these cannons will only work as long as the city wall stands. The wall took heavy damage before the cannons activated. If a powerful monster attacks it even once, it will collapse. Jungo, Aline, I'm counting on you. Protect the city wall at all costs. If it falls, everyone dies. The scene shifted to Jungo. Having used so many of his powers, he was completely exhausted, surrounded by piles of monster corpses. There are too many of them. I can barely breathe. The worst part is, I can't use lava tornado repeatedly, it's powerful, but its cooldown is 5 full minutes. Holding them off that long is nearly impossible. Where's the backup? When will they arrive? Suddenly, a huge monster advanced toward him. Fighting in frustration, Jungo growled, this endless battle is driving me insane. When will it finally end? With a single swing, he split the monster in two. Roaring in anger, he shouted, Aline, you promised 2 minutes, it's been 15. Is your work still not done? The monsters are increasing in number, and now they're stronger than before. You're not here, and neither is your backup team. I can't hold them all off alone. At that moment, Jungo noticed one monster heading straight for the cannon instead of attacking him. Shocked, he muttered, it's not targeting me, it's after Aline. No, I can't let it reach her. If I don't stop it, she'll die for nothing. Jungo intercepted the monster and killed it, but the attack drained much of his energy. Another monster took advantage of his fatigue and rushed toward the cannon. Jungo shouted, no, I can't stop this one. Just as the monster closed in, the cannon roared to life, slicing it in half with a single shot. Stunned, Jungo exclaimed, what? These cannons are this powerful? If they'd been working from the start, we wouldn't have had to fight so hard. Aline called out, it took longer than expected to fix, but I restored the crystal's power. Now every cannon in the city can fire freely. The cannons opened fire, mowing down monsters, while the backup team finally arrived. Aline said, I've repaired the crystal, soon, the entire system will be fully restored. Until then, we have to hold the line. Everyone prepared to fight, but then a massive swarm of spiders attacked. We have to wipe them out before they climb the wall, shouted one soldier. But the spiders were too many, and bullets alone couldn't stop them. One by one, soldiers fell. A masked fighter yelled, stay alert. These spiders can strike from anywhere at any moment. Despite their efforts, panic spread. These monsters are too strong. We weren't told they'd be this powerful. We have no chance of survival. Reinforcements joined the battle, but Jungo kept fighting relentlessly. Turning back, he called out, don't worry, I won't let a single large monster get past me. Just hold off the spiders however you can. But when Jungo looked back again, he froze in shock. There was no one left to hold the line. All reinforcement soldiers were dead. Furious, Jungo thought, I couldn't save anyone. These damn monsters, why won't they stop coming? I'll kill every last one of them. Roaring in rage, he unleashed a massive blast on the wall. At that moment, the city's defense system fully activated, and a huge cannon emerged from inside the wall. Aline said, the real game starts now. At headquarters, the officers commended her. Vice Captain Aline, you did an excellent job. With the cannons restored, we can handle the situation from here. But on the city wall, waves of monsters advanced. Aline shouted, what are you waiting for? Open fire. The cannons unleashed a devastating barrage, obliterating the monsters within seconds. Watching this, Jungo thought, in a battle where so many died, these machines ended it so quickly. Most of the monsters were wiped out by cannon fire, and the few survivors fled. I doubt they'll dare attack the city again. Aline remarked, our guardian cannon is extremely powerful. The only problem is that it has to recharge before every shot, and that takes a long time. Normally, when an abyss rift appears near a city, we get news weeks in advance. But this time, one opened so close and no information reached us. If we had even the slightest warning, so many lives wouldn't have been wasted. No one would have had to die. We could have protected everyone. Jungo reassured her, Aline, this isn't your fault. There's nothing we can do about it now. She replied, her voice heavy. I know, but accepting that is the hardest part. Why did so many have to die while we were here? If these monsters have the power to kill, why don't we have the power to protect? As they spoke, a massive monster emerged and charged toward them. Shocked, Jungo exclaimed, another one? Already? The beast smashed through part of the wall with a single blow. Falling back, Jungo thought, this thing is huge. How are we supposed to fight it? He used his long arms to shield Aline, prompting her to cry out, what just happened? How big is this monster? It destroyed all our cannons in one attack. How are we supposed to fight back now? Jungo was equally stunned. Those cannons were our strongest weapons, and it tore through them like nothing. What is this thing? How can it be so powerful? The monster climbed onto the wall and began tearing it apart. Aline and Jungo shouted together, no matter what happens, we won't let this wall fall. They attacked the beast, but their blows had no effect. Jungo thought in disbelief, even our strongest attack didn't leave a scratch. Fine. If its body is too tough, I'll target its eyes. They must be its weak point. But then he realized the creature's eyes were as hard as crystal, and his spear couldn't pierce them. What's going on? Even my best technique isn't working. The monster bit into the wall, creating a massive hole. Aline shouted, "We need to act fast. If this thing keeps attacking, the wall will collapse within seconds, and when it does, no one inside the city will be strong enough to stop it." As the monster prepared to strike again, a figure appeared and landed a crushing blow on it. Jungo stared in shock. "Who's that?" Aline's eyes widened. "That's Captain Ling Xiao, the captain of Squad 1. Jungo blinked. "Your captain? I thought he'd be young, but he looks like an old man." Aline explained, "Yes, that's my captain. You could say he's the second strongest human alive, right after Chief Commander Carey. He looks old because of his ability. In battle, he uses his own blood, and after so many years of non-stop fighting, it's aged him. But don't mistake his appearance. If he wants to, he can destroy anyone in an instant." Captain Ling Xiao drew the blood out of nearby monsters and used it to prepare powerful strikes. His attacks forced the giant monster onto the defensive. Jungo thought in awe. Cannons couldn't harm this beast, yet Captain's punches are crippling it. He's incredibly strong. The enraged monster charged the captain. Aline and Jungo quickly moved aside, but Ling Xiao didn't budge an inch. Jungo gasped. That attack shattered the ground itself. What happened to Captain? He didn't even move. But Ling Xiao stood firm, blocking the monster's blow with his staff. Calmly, he said, "If this is all the power you have, I'm afraid this is where you die." With that, he struck with his hammer, unleashing a devastating blow. Then, channeling his blood ability, he trapped the monster, sealing its movements. The captain spoke with a cold fury. Because of these vile monsters, so many innocent people were killed. Their hearts were filled with anger and hatred. Even though you never got the chance to take revenge, I will avenge them on your behalf, and you will help me do it. He gathered the blood of the fallen around him, forging it into a massive sword. Raising it high, the captain declared, "Filthy beast, this is your end. I will write your death in the blood of those you murdered." With a single devastating strike, he cleaved the monster cleanly in two. Watching this incredible display of power, Jungo was stunned. How can a human possess such strength? Truly, the captains of the extermination squad are extraordinary. No wonder this man is second only to Commander Carey, the strongest human alive. The captain turned to Aline. "I'm proud of you. You fought bravely until the very end. And the best part? You never gave up. You did an outstanding job here." Aline gasped. "Captain, your hand is bleeding. You need to stop it immediately, otherwise, you'll be in serious trouble. You barely have any blood left in your body as it is." The captain nodded. "Yes, you're absolutely right. Do you have any bandages?" "I've run out." Aline quickly replied. "I have some with me." The captain continued. "I've always hated monsters. My dream is to kill the most powerful monster lord, to avenge all of humanity." Meanwhile, Jungo thought to himself, "I have no time to relax. It's true, I've grown far stronger than before. Maybe I'm already on the level of a squad vice captain. But the gap between a vice captain and a captain is enormous. My goal now is to become as powerful as a captain, no matter what it takes." As Jungo looked back, several helicopters appeared in the sky. From them, numerous robots descended to the battlefield. Zhongji called out, "Jungo, I'm here now. Don't worry about a thing. My family's technology will handle everything from here." The entire city defense system was built by my family. Even this wall? We built it ourselves. No matter how damaged it gets, repairing it is child's play for us. Jungo looked around in awe. This city's defenses are incredible. Compared to the place I used to live, that place wasn't even a village. Now I understand why everyone wants to live here, and why they call this the safest city in the entire country. Just then, the captain approached. "Jungo, our commander wants you and Aline to report to the Supreme Council." "Zhongji, you've helped a great deal as well, you'll come with them." Jungo hesitated. "Captain, the wall still needs time to be repaired. What if monsters attack again while we're gone?" The captain reassured him. "Don't worry, I'll stay here. If a monster strong enough to defeat me appears, then your presence here wouldn't make any difference anyway. You've already done enough. Go without concern, I'll take care of everything from here." Scene shifted to the Parliament of Mingxi City. Aline gave a full report to the council members. In the end, our squad captain arrived and single-handedly killed a massive monster. After that, Zhongji and his team repaired the wall. That's everything that happened during today's attack. The head of the Zhong family spoke firmly. "It's clear our city was endangered because someone tampered with our defense systems. That's why we received no warning and couldn't stop the monsters in time. Once the system was fixed, everything worked perfectly. If it had been operational from the start, no monster would have even reached the city." I personally believe this matter is extremely serious and must be investigated. Baishinting replied dismissively, "Don't worry about the investigation, we're already handling it. In my opinion, discussing this further isn't important. We have many other pressing matters to address." Annoyed, the Zhong family head retorted, "Just admit it, you're trying to bury this entire incident. Everyone knows who's responsible, and because of that scoundrel, countless innocent people died for no reason." The head of the church intervened, "This isn't the right time to fight amongst ourselves. A far greater threat is standing before us, an A-rank abyss. If we must discuss anything, it should be this. Commander Carey, what do you plan to do about it?" Commander Carey replied calmly, "Our extermination squad has already selected its best members. Soon, we'll send a team directly into the abyss. But there's another urgent matter. Just moments ago, we received an emergency video. Facility 12 is under monster attack." Jungo asked sharply, "Facility 12? What kind of place is that?" Aline explained, "This is the Zhong family's most top-secret facility. All of their major experiments are conducted there, and the head of that place is none other than Zhong Ji's elder sister. The research is so classified that even I don't know what exactly they're working on." Zhong Ji, growing anxious, thought, "Has facility number 12 been attacked? My sister is there. I have no idea if she's safe." Jungo asked, "If this place is so important, why isn't it inside the city? Keeping it outside only puts it in danger." Aline replied, "Originally, the facility was meant to be built inside the city, but the council rejected the plan. They said if any experiment went wrong, it could cause catastrophic damage to the entire city. That's why facility number 12 was constructed outside the walls." Jungo said grimly, "Clearly, this was done on purpose. Now I finally understand how the other great families keep targeting the Zhong family." Zhong Ji asked nervously, "Have the workers been evacuated? What about my sister? What happened to her? Is she safe?" Commander Carey responded, "There was no distress signal from them. If anyone is still alive inside, they're definitely trapped. My opinion is this: we'll send the main squad later, but first we should dispatch a rescue team. Captain Ling Xiao will head toward facility number 12. The head of the church objected, "I have a problem with that. Commander Carey, our church has detected that the energy inside the abyss is rapidly increasing. If we don't kill the Lord inside soon, things may spiral out of control." Commander Carey reassured them, "Don't worry, we have many capable captains. We'll send Commander Pharaoh to lead the rescue team. The Abyss raid team will face no issues." But Baishinting interrupted, "This won't work. Commander Carey, you know this is an A-class abyss. We need at least 10 extremely powerful fighters to raid it. We can't afford to leave even one captain behind. I agree the people inside the facility are important, but the lives of everyone in the city are more important. I'm sorry, but I can't approve sending any captain there." The head of the Zhong family slammed his fist on the table. "So what are you saying? Those scientists have worked day and night for the good of everyone, and now, in their moment of crisis, we're just going to abandon them to die? All of you were the ones who forced facility number 12 outside the city, and now that they're in danger, you refuse to help. What exactly do you intend to do?" Rose Romanoff spoke coldly, "I understand your concern, but our priority is the safety of the city. The Lord inside that abyss is growing far too powerful. Before it emerges, we must eliminate it. We cannot risk the entire city for the sake of one facility. This meeting is over. Commander Carey, proceed with your mission. As for the people in facility number 12, we'll send a few juniors to assist, but frankly, their chances of survival are slim." Rose Romanoff thought to himself, "You're all fools. Zhong family, I warned you to merge with our Romanoff family. If you had agreed, you'd be sharing in our power like the Bai family. But you refused, and now you'll be destroyed." Commander Carey clenched his fists silently. "Rose Romanoff, you snake. You're not trying to protect the city, you just want to destroy the Zhong family. Facility number 12 houses their brightest minds, the very people who built our city's defense system. If anything happens to them, the Zhong family will fall, and that's exactly what you want." Jungo finally spoke up, "After listening to all of you, I understand one thing: none of you are going to help." Everyone in the chamber was shocked. Jungo continued firmly, "If you won't help, fine. I'll go to facility number 12 myself and save them." Soon after, Jungo boarded a helicopter with his small team. Aline warned him, "Jungo, have you really thought this through? To suppress the abyss, every fighter in our squad is being sent inside. We won't have anyone left to help you. I can't go with you. If you're going to save that facility, you'll have to do it alone. You'll get no support from us." As they flew, Jungo remembered the words from Parliament. Rose Romanoff sneered, "I reject your proposal. the Defense Council is deploying every squad member to the abyss. No one is free for a rescue mission. You're not going either. Jungo replied calmly, forgive me, but I may have helped defend this city, but I'm not part of your squad. I'm going to save that research facility on my own terms. I don't think anyone here can stop me from doing what I believe is right. Jungo reflected, Commander Carey had to fight every single person in that room to get me cleared for this mission. Everyone was against him, but he stood his ground, and I'll stand mine. The squad has done all it can. From here on, everything depends on me, but I'm not alone. I do have allies. Zhongji joined him, desperate to save his sister. Two others, people who once doubted Jungo's ability, stepped forward to help after witnessing his true power. Even Lu Yao, who owed Jungo her life from a training exercise, came along to repay her debt. Jungo addressed his companions, this mission is going to be dangerous. When we defended the city, we had many powerful fighters at our side. But this time, it's just us. We'll have to handle everything ourselves. So tell me, are you all ready for this? The two men responded, Boss, we've seen your ability with our own eyes. We're ready to do anything to support you. Lu Yao added, if it weren't for you, I'd already be dead. This life belongs to you now, and I'll do whatever it takes to help you. Just then, an announcement came through, prepare for landing. Rescue team, get ready. Jungo looked at his team and said, thank you, all of you, for trusting me. Let's move forward and show everyone what we can do. With that, they exited the plane in their vehicles. On the way, Zhongjie spoke seriously, Jungo, my father told me, if anything happens to my sisters inside facility number 12, then the Zhong family will stop all experiments forever. If after all this effort I still fail to protect my sister, then what's the point of developing anything at all? If she dies, you could say the Zhong family ends here. But, since you're with me, I have faith that everything will turn out fine. You've already saved me twice, and both times the Zhong family was on the verge of losing everything. Because of your kindness, we survived. We'll never forget that. Jungo replied firmly, I know how it feels to be trapped with no one to help. That's why I can't abandon anyone in need. If I truly lack the ability to help, that's one thing. But if I have the power and still don't act, then my life has no meaning. Don't worry, Zhongji. Everything will be fine. Soon, they reached facility number 12, only to find it completely destroyed. Jungo muttered, looks like the attack here was just as deadly as the one on our city. Did we arrive too late? Suddenly, a faint voice came from beneath the rubble. When they removed the stones, they found an injured scientist. Zhongji rushed forward. Don't worry, I'm here to help you. But Jungo quickly noticed something was wrong. It was a trap. The scientist was no human at all but a monster disguised in human form. It suddenly grabbed Zhongji's hand. Shocked, Zhongji thought, what? A monster? It's been waiting here for us. The wounded man groaned, kill me. I can't endure this pain anymore. Zhongji panicked. What do I do? It's holding my hand. Without this hand, I can't fight back. But Jungo rushed in and freed him. Unfortunately, since the monster was made of water, Jungo's attacks had no effect. Jungo demanded, System, what's its weakness? The system responded, this is a water-based monster. Physical attacks won't work. The only way to kill it is by destroying its crystal. Jungo shouted to Zhongji, physical attacks are useless. We need to destroy its crystal. Zhongji yelled back, got it. I'll try. He unleashed his ice punch, freezing the entire monster and shattering its crystal into two pieces. Tears filled his eyes as he said, this was one of our Zhong family's new scientists. He had only been promoted and sent here last week, and now look at what has happened within just a week. Jungo spoke grimly, Zhongji, life inside the city and life out here are completely different. I used to be part of a rescue squad. Each time 10 people would go out to carry supplies, but only 5 would return alive. This is the era of the apocalypse. Death is common here. We can't let it break us. At that moment, Lu Yao reported, Captain, I've scanned the area completely. There's no sign of any survivors. We even sent multiple signals but received no response. If no one is alive here, what's the point in staying? Zhongji interrupted, this building on the surface is just for show. The real facility is underground, with far stronger security. It's highly likely my sister and the others are trapped down there. Just then, a swarm of water monsters emerged from the underground facility, charging toward them. Zhongji rushed ahead to fight, launching continuous ice attacks, but they barely had any effect. Worse, his mechanical arm was severely damaged. He cried out in despair, it's destroyed. What do we do now? The monsters quickly surrounded the group. Lu Yao unleashed her electric powers, but since the monsters were made of water, the attacks had no effect. Panicked, the others shouted, "What do we do? None of our attacks work." Jungo pushed the others to safety, but in the chaos, Zhongji was left trapped alone, surrounded by the monsters. Zhongji said, "I'm useless. I couldn't protect my family, nor my sister. If I can't protect anyone, then what's the point of being alive? If I have nothing left to protect, then it's better to die." Just then, he heard his sister's voice. She said, "Zhongji, can you hear me?" Overjoyed, Zhongji thought, that was my sister's voice. Looking at the machine, he shouted, "Sister, is that really you?" The scene shifted, showing Zhongji's sister, who was observing everything from inside her chamber. She said, "Listen carefully to me. No matter what, we have to find a way to distract these monsters." Jungo thought to himself, these water monsters aren't as weak as they look. Even massive lava strikes couldn't scratch my armor, yet these creatures have managed to burn it slightly. That means I'll have to be extremely careful when fighting them. Meanwhile, Zhongji, while running, called out, "Everyone, follow me. I know how to deal with them." As they ran, he kept shouting, "Hurry up. Make sure these water monsters don't follow us." Soon, they reached a large gate. Zhongji yelled, "Quickly, everyone get inside. Once we're in, they won't be able to harm us." The team rushed in, and the gate closed just in time, blocking the monsters from entering. Breathing heavily, Jungo asked, "All right, we're in, but what do we do now?" Suddenly, Zhongyi appeared on a nearby screen and said, "I'll tell you exactly what needs to be done." Overwhelmed with relief, Zhongji exclaimed, "Sister, seeing you safe makes me so happy. Honestly, I thought I was too late, but now that I see everything's fine, I feel so much better." Zhongyi replied, "I actually have some good news. The crystal we've been working on for years is finally complete, a crystal that can continuously grow." Jungo interrupted, "Sorry to cut in, but what exactly are you talking about? I don't understand. Can you explain in simpler words?" Zhongyi smiled faintly and said, "Forgive me. I was so happy to see my brother that I forgot to explain. Let me start from the beginning. When the rift near our city opened, countless monsters poured in. We didn't even get the chance to escape, and ever since, they've been attacking us. The only good thing is that the facility's security system is strong, so they haven't reached us yet. We were researching one of these monsters, and perhaps it's the very one that summoned the others here." Shocked, Liao said, "Wait, you're researching live monsters? I've never seen anything like that in my life." Zhongyi explained, "Awakeners struggle to grow stronger because they can only gain power by killing powerful monsters and absorbing their energy. This limits their potential. That's why we started researching these water monsters. They devour each other and grow stronger. Using their abilities, we created a crystal that continuously provides power to its owner. With this, Awakeners won't need rare crystals anymore. They'll be able to grow without limits." Excited, Zhongji exclaimed, "You did it. You don't realize how much this invention will help humanity." His sister nodded. "Exactly. From now on, every Awakener will have such a crystal and be able to reach their full potential. But, there is one drawback. With high-grade crystals, power increases suddenly and drastically. This one, however, only boosts power gradually over time." Jungo interrupted again, "Sorry, but I need to bring you back to reality. I know this is a moment of joy for you, but right now, we're trapped in a dire situation. No one else is coming to help us. Tell me, how do we get out of here? And how can we reach you?" Zhongyi replied, "You're right. Forgive me for forgetting. I'll show you a complete map of this facility. It'll make it easier for you to reach us. The facility above is only a facade. The real facility is completely underground. I'll also send you access to the database so you can extract all the data before escaping." Zhongji protested, "Sister, what are you saying? You want us to take the data and leave? Then what about you? Who will save you?" Zhongyi said firmly, "Little brother, try to understand. The crystal and its technology are far too important. Even if we die, it doesn't matter. This crystal must reach humanity. You could say this invention holds the power to save everyone. Compared to that, our lives are insignificant." Jungo shouted, "No, your lives do matter. Don't think we'll just take the technology and abandon you here to die. Believe me, that will never happen. We'll create a better plan, one that saves as many lives as possible. That's the only option we have." Zhongyi thought to herself, "They're being stubborn. They won't listen to us." Then she explained, "Yes, there is one way out. Each underground level has a rail system built into it. Originally, it was designed to transport supplies, and so far the monsters haven't reached it. If we can somehow make it there, we can escape. But there's a problem. The central control room has been destroyed. Because of that, the rails no longer have power. We'll need to go to the surface, restore the power, and somehow open the main gate. The biggest issue is that opening the main gate will create a massive amount of noise, and you all know these monsters are attracted to sound. Whoever opens that gate has no chance of survival. They will surely die. That's why I'm saying this mission is extremely dangerous and almost impossible. So, leave us behind, take the technology and escape while you still can. But Jungo cut in firmly, enough. All of you, head toward the rail station immediately. I'll take care of the rest. Zhongji, focus on restoring the power. Leave the gate to me. Now that we know what we need to do, nothing can stop us. Next, Zhongji and the others arrived at the power station. Shocked, the two men with him muttered, "What is all this? We've never seen such dangerous technology before." Zhongji told them, "I have a job for you both. Watch this panel closely. When you see the light turn on, press this button instantly. Don't even be 1 second late." The men replied, "Don't worry, brother. We'll handle it." Zhongji got to work. "I've connected the system. Within 10 minutes, the power will be restored. Everyone, be ready." Meanwhile, Jungo and Luyao reached the gate. Jungo reassured her, "Don't worry, we've already made it to the gate. We'll be in position before the power comes back. Listen carefully, once power is restored, you'll only have 30 seconds to open the gate. If it's not open within that time, the train won't be able to pass. And if that happens, you already know what will become of us." Back at headquarters, we saw people rushing around, collecting supplies. Their leader shouted, "Don't leave anything behind. Every copy, every recording, bring it all. This is humanity's greatest research. We'll do whatever it takes to protect it." The man with glasses reported, "Director, we've loaded all the wounded onto the train, and we've secured the entire research archive as well. If you give the order, we're ready to leave." Zhongyi announced, "Zhongji, we're ready too. Everyone, move quickly. Get on the train now, and don't leave a single thing behind." One by one, everyone boarded. Zhongji called out, "You have 80 to 100 seconds left. Is everyone aboard? The train is about to move." At the gate, Jungo prepared himself. "I'm ready to open it." Then, 3, 2, 1, the power was restored. Overjoyed, Zhongyi exclaimed, "Finally, the power is back. My brother, Zhongji, you did an amazing job." But at that moment, a scientist noticed something terrifying, water monsters advancing toward them. He shouted, "We have to hurry. They're coming straight for us." Zhongyi quickly warned everyone, "Hold on to your seats tightly. We're about to experience some serious jolts." With that, she started the train. The water monsters, however, didn't give up. They sprinted with incredible speed, quickly catching up to the train. Panicked, a scientist screamed, "They'll reach us any moment. If they catch up, we're all dead." Zhongyi snapped, "Calm down. There's nothing else we can do. I've already pushed the engine to maximum power. This train can't go any faster than this." The monsters were about to strike when suddenly the cannons mounted on the train activated, unleashing a barrage of fire that pushed them back. It was Zhongji controlling the defenses remotely. The passengers cheered, "If all the controls are in Zhongji's hands, then we're safe." Even Zhongyi thought to herself, "Little brother, you're doing so well." The passengers finally breathed a sigh of relief, until the system's alarm rang out, "Warning, gate not open. Train collision imminent." Shocked, Zhongyi thought, "What's going on? Why hasn't the gate opened yet?" Meanwhile, at the gate, Jungo cursed, "Damn it. Of all times, this useless gate had to jam now. If we can't open it in time, our entire plan will collapse." Just then, Zhongji and his teammates climbed onto the train and entered. Zhongji said warmly, "Sister, finally I made it to you. I'm so glad you're safe." But Zhongyi warned him, "Don't celebrate yet. The gate still isn't open." Luyao examined it. "The hydraulics are completely broken. That's why it's stuck." Zhongji declared, "We don't have much time. If this gate doesn't open, we'll have to abandon the train." But Zhongyi shook her head. "No, going outside is suicide. The moment we step out, the monsters will swarm us. Whether we stay in the train or go out, death is certain. Our only chance of survival depends on that gate. If it opens, we live. If not, we all die." We then saw Jungo using his ape arms to push against the gate, but no matter how much power he exerted, the gate wouldn't budge. Luyao spoke up, "Zhongji, Captain Jungo has come up with a new plan. He says he'll force this gate open with sheer strength." A scientist was stunned. "What? Push it open? That's impossible. This gate was built to withstand 10 tons of pressure. It was specifically designed so that not even the strongest monsters could break through. A human forcing it open with brute strength is unthinkable. No human alive could accomplish such a feat." Jungo thought to himself, I've already activated my ape arms, and even with that, I can't move it an inch. Looks like raw strength won't be enough. I'll have to rely on my fighter form. This time, I'll use my entire body to push this gate open. He extended his sticky, elongated tongue, latching tightly onto the ground to anchor himself. This will give me leverage. It'll help me push harder. Then he activated his spider sting, fixing himself in place. Out loud, he muttered, if my legs don't move, I'll be able to channel all my strength into this gate. Next, he activated his elastic muscles. His entire body swelled with amplified strength, his power multiplying far beyond its normal limits. Yet, even with all that, the gate still didn't move. His muscles began to tear under the strain. The pain was excruciating, but still he thought, I've used every ounce of power in my body, and the gate hasn't budged, but I cannot lose here. Even if every muscle in my body rips apart, I will open this gate. With a final roar, he unleashed his full might. Slowly, the gate began to shift. Shocked, Liao cried out, the gate, it's opening. Our captain did it. Everyone nearby was stunned, unable to believe their eyes. Zhongji muttered, is this really working? Jungo, gritting his teeth, shouted, I just need 3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes, and I'll get it open completely. But just then, a water monster lunged at him. Jungo cursed inwardly, damn it, of all times, these pests attack now. If I move even slightly, the gate will slam shut again. And if that happens, reopening it will be impossible. Zhongji called out, Jungo, can you hold it? At that moment, Zhongyi donned her armor. Zhongji panicked, sister, what are you doing? Don't go outside, it's too dangerous. But Zhongyi answered calmly, focus on the train. Get everyone out safely. I have something else to take care of. With that, she stepped out of the train. She thought to herself, all these monsters are being controlled by their master. If I go underground and free him, he'll call the monsters back to himself. That way, Jungo will have the time he needs to open the gate. Meanwhile, Liao attacked the swarming water monsters to buy time, but her attacks barely scratched them. There are too many of them. With my basic attacks, I can't stop them all. Jungo continued struggling with the gate. Zhongyi called out to him, just hold for a few more seconds. Jungo, I'm heading underground to release the monster master. Once he's free, these creatures will retreat to him, and you'll get the time you need to finish opening the gate. But before she could act further, another water monster clamped its jaws around the train. Inside, one of the men cried out, young Master Zhong, what should we do? We can see the gate clearly from here, but it's still not fully open. Zhongji gritted his teeth. Our train is already running at half speed. If we slow down any further, it'll stall completely. We have no choice, speed it up. The train shuddered violently as Zhongji pushed the throttle to maximum. A passenger peered out the window. Look, the monsters can't keep up at full speed. They're falling behind. But his relief was short-lived. In the next instant, water monsters grabbed him, hurling him out of the train before swarming inside. Panic erupted. A scientist cried, there's no point in running anymore, we're all going to die. The monsters are inside, and there's no one left to fight them. Everything we've done, all this struggle, it was all for nothing. We're finished. At that moment, an old scientist silently donned his combat suit. Zhongji gasped, Uncle D, what are you doing? Uncle D looked at the younger ones and said gravely, everyone here is young. The future belongs to you. Whether I live or die doesn't matter, but your survival is what's important. My children, always choose the right path, and one day, destroy these monsters completely. With that, he leapt from the train, dragging the monsters with him. Activating the self-destruct system on his suit, he detonated, killing himself and the creatures in a blinding explosion. Tears welled in Zhongji's eyes. Uncle D, we will never forget you. You sacrificed everything for us. Meanwhile, Liao and Jungo were still locked in a desperate struggle, overwhelmed by the unending swarm. Zhongji whispered in despair, is this truly the end for all of us? Just then, a deafening roar shook the entire main building. Everyone covered their ears as the sound pierced the air. A man shouted, what is happening? Zhongji's eyes widened. It must be my sister. She's done it. The water monsters, they're all heading toward the main building now, but our problems aren't over yet. The brakes on our train have failed, and I can't stop it. Another man nearby shouted, what are you saying? If we don't stop this train, it will definitely crash. Even if the monsters have left, we'll all die. And the worst part is, the train is at full speed. If we jump now, I can guarantee we won't survive. Zhongji said helplessly, there's nothing we can do now. Whatever happens, only Jungo can handle it. We then see Jungo, still struggling to open the gate. Shouting, he said, I have to do this. To save all these lives, I must do it. With all his strength, he finally forces the gate open, leaps onto the train's roof, and stands tall. Relieved, Zhongji exclaimed, "Finally, we're saved." Trusting our captain was the right choice. Just then, Liao also entered the train. Zhongji called out, "Jungo, why did you get off the train? Hurry up, come back. We need to escape." But Jungo replied, "Zhongji, take everyone and go back. I'll return too, but with your sister." The scene shifts to the lowest floor of the underground lab. Zhongyi said, "Just as I thought. The monster we were researching was the one that summoned all the others using its power. The moment I freed it, it called all the monsters to itself. Now I need to see what it does next." Suddenly, the water monsters attacked the main monster. Shocked, Zhongyi thought, "What? Are they going to fight each other now?" And indeed, a fierce battle began. The main monster absorbed the others one by one. Zhongyi realized, this monster we were researching, it must be their master. One by one, it's defeating and absorbing them all. But even the remaining monsters won't give up so easily. 3 of them merged together into a single giant beast and charged at the main monster. Zhongyi observed, they're absorbing each other to become stronger. These 3 combined to challenge the master monster. But even then, the main monster overpowered them all, fully absorbing the last survivor. Zhongyi, unable to see clearly, wondered, what's happening now? Why can't I see anything? When she opened her eyes, she was shocked to see the main monster, smaller than before. What just happened? Why is its transformation so strange? Wait, could it be that this water monster has evolved? She quickly recorded the entire evolution on camera. Even if I don't survive, someday someone will find this footage. Remember this, the water monster has an evolution trait, and if that trait ever transfers to humans, we could become incredibly powerful in the future. Then Zhongyi attacked with freezing power. Against ice, water monsters are helpless. Once frozen, it'll be easy to defeat. The monster cracked under the ice, but to her horror, it regenerated instantly. What? How did it heal itself? She attacked again with an ice beam, freezing its shoulder, but it had no effect. The monster spoke, "So, humans use energy, but your energy won't work on me anymore." Shocked, Zhongyi thought, it spoke, and now my ice beams don't work. Has it overcome its weakness after evolving? She fired multiple ice beams, but the monster absorbed them all. What? It's absorbing every attack I throw at it. This water monster is evolving continuously. With each attack, it adapts, builds resistance, and grows stronger. If it keeps going like this, nothing will be able to destroy it. The monster noticed Zhongyi, grabbed her, and said, "So, it was you who imprisoned me here for years. Now I've become powerful enough to devour anything and take its power. If I devour a human, I might even gain your mind. And you look especially tasty. I'll enjoy eating you slowly." Saying this, the monster began devouring Zhongyi. Terrified, Zhongyi thought, this monster is far too powerful. Against it, we majors have no chance of survival. There's no way out. But just then, we see Jungo rushing forward at full speed and saving Zhongyi. Zhongyi shouted, "Jungo, are you crazy? I was already about to die here alone, and now with you here, we'll both die together." Jungo replied firmly, "To be honest, I've never liked the idea of one person sacrificing their life to save everyone else. The only reason I became stronger was because I didn't want to leave any of my comrades behind." Zhongyi snapped, "You're such an idiot. No matter what you say, both of us are going to die here." The water monster laughed mockingly and said, "What do you think this is, a park? How dare you ignore me while I'm standing here?" Jungo muttered, "This water monster can talk, that means it must be the leader of the others. But what I don't understand is, why is it so small now? And where did the rest of the water monsters go?" Zhongyi explained, "It devoured all of them. After absorbing them, it transformed into this new form." The water monster growled, "Girl, I won't let you go. I remember very well, you're the one in charge here. You were the one who captured me and performed endless experiments on me. You electrocuted me, froze me, and kept me awake for nights. Your attacks caused me unbearable pain, and whenever I begged you to stop, you just laughed. All of you enjoyed watching me suffer. But now it's my turn. You laughed when I was in pain, now I'll make you feel pain, and I'll be the one laughing." Hearing this, Jungo said, "From the sound of it, you really did suffer a lot. They must have done terrible things to you." Zhongyi protested, "Listen, it wasn't my fault. This creature has a magical core that evolves constantly. Its evolution is so advanced that no attack works on it anymore. It absorbs every strike into its body and builds resistance." Jungo smirked, "If that's the case, then fighting it will be even more fun." Mocking the monster, he continued, "Honestly, you guys are useless anyway. Ever since you entered the human world, all you've done is cause trouble for us. So if you ended up contributing to science and research, even unwillingly, it's not like you moved a mountain. That was just your responsibility. Your kind has done terrible things, so at least one of you finally did something useful." The water monster growled, "Humans are despicable. Killing you all is the right thing to do." Saying this, it launched a powerful attack. With just one punch, it slammed Jungo hard into the wall. Grabbing him, the monster sneered, "Weren't you laughing earlier? Let's see how much you enjoy pain now." It hurled Jungo into the ceiling and then delivered a vicious kick as he fell. Watching Jungo being beaten, Zhongyi was shocked. "Jungo, are you okay?" The water monster smirked. "After taking a beating like that, do you really think he's fine? Girl, he's finished. Now it's your turn." But then, through the smoke, Jungo emerged unharmed. He thought, "These bastards' attacks are destroying my armor. Honestly, I didn't expect such a small monster to have this much power." The system's voice echoed, "This water monster's name is Golaith. Whatever it devours, it absorbs all of its strength." Jungo realized, "So, it has powers like mine. But there's one thing this fool doesn't have, the ability to see weak points. As long as I can see its weaknesses, defeating it will be easy." Activating his mantis scythe, Jungo charged forward to attack. But Golaith quickly grabbed him again. The cockroach god spoke, "Jungo, you must use different kinds of attacks. Its special power allows it to adapt to enemy strikes. The same attack will never work on it twice." Jungo groaned, "Cockroach god, couldn't you have shown up earlier? Because you're late. I'm about to get beaten to death here." Laughing, Golaith said, "You're a very interesting human. Killing you is going to be fun." It began crushing Jungo's hands mercilessly. Jungo thought quickly, "I need to break free, or it'll keep shattering every bone in my body." Using his scythe ability, he slashed through Golaith's arms. Shocked, Golaith cried out, "Impossible. Just moments ago, he was using completely different powers. How did he change himself so suddenly?" The system explained, "You've evolved your mantis scythe. You are now using corrosive mucus together with mantis scythe. This has created a new power, corrosive blade." Immediately, Jungo activated his new blade from his foot and unleashed a devastating strike on Golaith. Wounded, Golaith thought, "How can this human be so strange? As far as I knew, humans could only possess one type of power. But this one, every attack he uses is different. Killing him won't be easy." With that, the two clashed violently. Zhongyi, watching from behind, thought, "It's a good thing we're far from the city. If this fight were happening inside, the whole place would have been destroyed." Meanwhile, Jungo activated spider venom in his hands, spreading poison throughout Golaith's body. Shocked, Golaith thought, "What is happening to me? Why does my body suddenly feel weak?" Just then, Jungo landed a powerful punch and sent him flying backward. Equally stunned, Zhongyi thought, "At first, I believed Jungo only had the power of shifting, and that's how he could use 2 or 3 abilities at once. But now, I can clearly say it, our Jungo is a monster. His fighting style, his powers, everything is just like them. No human can possibly possess this much strength." At that moment, Jungo used his spear and struck Golaith's core, but to his shock, it had no effect. Confused, Jungo thought, "What just happened? I attacked with all my force, yet my spear couldn't even pierce through his body." Laughing, Golaith mocked, "What's wrong? Surprised? You already knew I could evolve, and yet you hesitated too long before attacking. Now it's useless." Jungo clenched his teeth. His speed of adaptation is terrifying. "I attacked him several times before, but now none of those attacks work anymore. Looks like this fight won't be as easy as I thought." Suddenly, Zhongyi attacked with ice from behind. Turning, Golaith snapped, "Who just attacked me now?" Zhongyi shouted, "Golaith, you fight from the front. I'll cover you from behind." But Golaith roared, "There's no front or back here. The first one I'll kill is you." He lunged toward Zhongyi, but she dodged skillfully and counterattacked. Frustrated by both of their strikes, Golaith grew angrier. At the same time, Jungo used his fire power and sliced off Golaith's arm. Golaith panicked. "What do I do? If I focus on one, the other attacks me. If I focus on the other, the first one strikes again." Zhongyi shouted, "If we use different powers at the same time, he won't be able to block them all. His body can only defend against one power at a time." Enraged, Golaith growled, "Humans, the powers you're using aren't even your own. By using the divine crystals, you steal our powers and turn them against us. Without crystals, you're nothing. That's your greatest weakness, and now I'll disable your crystal." Zhongyi realized the danger. He has the power of waves. He used those same waves to summon the other monsters. With those waves, he can also disable a magic crystal. If he destroys mine, I won't be able to help Jungo at all. I have to destroy him with one decisive strike while I still can. With determination, she fired her ice arrow directly at Golaith. It struck him, but Golaith smirked. I can't stop now. If even one of my attacks lands, none of you will be able to do anything. He unleashed his wave ability, disabling Zhongyi's crystal. Instantly, her armor and her bow became useless. Horrified, she thought, this is terrible. Now, in front of him, we can't do anything. Laughing cruelly, Golaith mocked, what's wrong? Shocked? Didn't I tell you? Without your crystals, humans are nothing but trash. And now, I'll put you trash in your place. Zhongyi's heart sank. If only my attack had hit at the right spot. I was too slow. Because of me, both Jungo and I will die. The truth is, Golaith became this powerful because of me. I experimented on him so much that he developed resistance to every kind of power. If this monster reaches the city, no one will be able to stop him. Not even Commander Carey will stand a chance. Without crystals, even the strongest human is helpless. Advancing menacingly, Golaith sneered, seeing your terrified faces brings me so much peace. You don't know how happy it makes me to see you like this. Don't worry, I won't devour you quickly. I'll take my time. You'll feel unbearable pain. You'll scream, and hearing that will give me immense joy. I can hardly wait to devour you, but watching you suffer first is even more entertaining. Just as he finished speaking, Jungo suddenly punched him and threw him aside. Stunned, Golaith cried out, what nonsense is this? How are you using your powers without a crystal? No human can use powers without one. Yet you're fighting at full strength without any crystal at all. Even Zhongyi was shaken. Golaith is right. Without crystals, no human can use powers, not even Commander Carey. So how is Jungo doing all of this? Could it be true? Is our Django not human at all? Golaith continued, you humans are strange. As far as I knew, your powers came from crystals, but it seems not everyone depends on them. No matter where your power comes from, today I'll finish you all using my strength. Saying this, Golaith made his body even stronger. Look at my true form. Against this power, you cannot survive. Jungo smirked and replied, I almost forgot about one of my soldiers. Why should I waste time fighting a bug like you myself, when someone else is more than enough? With that, he summoned Fatty, who transformed into Rhino and asked, tell me, Master, what do you want me to do? Zhongyi was shocked, thinking, what's happening here? Jungo just summoned a powerful boss-level monster. Golaith was stunned as well, saying, Brother Bron, what are you doing here? Jungo thought to himself, Bron? So this beast man had a name before. Judging by Golaith's reaction, they must know each other well. Ignoring him, Fatty launched a fierce punch straight at Golaith. Golaith shouted angrily, Bron, you betrayed us. You've become a slave to humans. I never expected this from you. How could you fall so low? Fatty summoned his spear, but Golaith sneered, you've fallen so far you don't even want to talk. Fine then, I'll end you and free you from this slavery forever. He then attacked Fatty with a deadly strike. Zhongyi, watching in shock, thought, we've never seen a monster like this before. He's so powerful, yet Fatty is holding his own against him. And Jungo, who exactly is he? Even without crystals, he can use 4 different powers, and he summoned such a powerful boss monster. He can't be human. No human could possibly have this much power. Watching the fight, Jungo thought, both of them are fighting with incredible strength. I must admit, a battle between 2 boss monsters is truly intense. He then deflected the flying debris around them. Turning to Zhongyi, he asked, are you okay? She stared at him and replied, yes, I'm fine. Nervously, Jungo said, why are you looking at me like that? If this is a joke, please stop, you're scaring me. Zhongyi answered seriously, once this is over, can I study your body? I promise it won't hurt at all. It will just be like a proper checkup, and you might even enjoy it. Embarrassed, Jungo thought, I completely forgot Zhongyi was here. I revealed all my powers in front of her. My secret, that I'm not human, is exposed. Jungo quickly said, what you're thinking is wrong. I'm not what you believe. But Zhongyi replied calmly, you don't need to explain anything. I know your secret, and don't worry, I won't tell anyone. It will remain safe with me. I'll go hide nearby so I won't get in the way of your fight. Just finish Golaith quickly, and then we'll go home. Hearing this, Golaith shouted angrily, what? They're already planning to leave? Do they take me for nothing? Even if Bron is helping them, it doesn't matter. Unless I allow it, no one can defeat me. Fatty gritted his teeth and said, brother, I don't understand. Even after using all this power, why won't he go down? His body is so strange. Jungo replied, "Don't worry, fatty. I'll help you finish him." Then Jungo unleashed his powers, using all elemental forces at once. He thought, at best, he can fight using one attribute, but he can't handle all attributes together. I have more attributes than he could ever imagine. Golath was shocked. What is this? How can a human possess such power? At that moment, Fatty launched a fire attack on Golath, while Jungo moved in close and struck with all the other elements at once. The impact caused a massive explosion, and the entire area filled with smoke. Worried, Zhongyi asked, "What happened? Did Jungo win?" As the smoke cleared, she saw Golath still standing. Golath sneered, "By using the crystal, I can recover. If I kill you here, my victory is certain. Apart from you, there's no one in all of humanity who can face me." But in the next instant, Jungo sliced Golath into two. Jungo said coldly, "What did you think? That my abilities were limited? I possess many attributes, one of them is called immortality." Dying, Golath muttered, "You're far too overpowered. If I hadn't faced you today, I would have been the one to win this battle." On the other side, Zhongyi thought to herself, "There's something very strange about Jungo, and honestly, I like it a lot." Fatty grinned with joy and said, "Big bro, thank you so much for helping. With your support, we won so easily." Moving forward, Jungo thought, "Let's see what new power I gain after consuming him." The system responded, "Golath had evolved many times already. Because of this, I cannot determine what power you'll gain after consuming him." Jungo thought, "If I can nullify crystals like he did, I'll be invincible among all humanity. No human would be able to defeat me." But suddenly, after consuming Golath, Jungo's body began to freeze up. The system warned, "Host, major changes are occurring in your body. It's extremely difficult to analyze them right now." The scene then shifted. One day later, Jungo's teammates had brought him to a private mansion. Aline asked anxiously, "What happened to him? Why is his whole body frozen like this?" Zhongyi replied, "Don't worry, his body is stable. He may have been unconscious for a while, but he's not in danger. He'll wake up soon. Actually, I called you all here for another reason. I need to tell you something very important about Jungo. He may look normal, but in reality, he isn't human." Both Zhongji and Aline gasped. "What? Jungo isn't human?" Zhongyi continued, "Even though he looks like one of us, his DNA is completely different from a human's. I checked it myself. I suspect Jungo is a monster, not an ordinary one, but a very powerful one who came among us to understand humanity from the inside. Recently, we've seen monsters with surprisingly high intelligence. Jungo could be an advanced version of them. His powers are exactly like a monster's." Just then, Jungo woke up. Opening his eyes, he thought, "Where am I? Why does my head feel so heavy?" Cockroach God explained, "You consumed Golath as crystal. Because Golath had already absorbed many attributes, your body couldn't decide which powers to accept and which to reject. As a result, your body shut down and rejected everything, leaving you unconscious for 24 hours. But don't worry, the side effects will fade soon. I've scanned your body and solved all the issues." Meanwhile, Zhongyi told the others, "I scanned Jungo's body as well. He has traits from many monsters. Most dangerously, he now possesses powers like Golath's. He can continue to evolve endlessly. If he learns to nullify crystals like Golath, then humanity won't stand a chance against him. If that happens, defeating him will be impossible. That's why, while he's still unconscious, this is our last chance." Aline looked at her in shock. "What do you mean, Zhongyi? Are you suggesting we imprison Jungo?" Zhongyi shook her head. "No. Compared to Golath, Jungo is far more dangerous and powerful. Golath's main ability was evolution, but Jungo's powers surpass even that. Capturing him won't solve anything. We have only one option, to eliminate this threat forever." Everyone was stunned by her words. Zhongji protested angrily, "Sister, I don't care what you say. I won't agree. No one can lay a hand on my big brother while I'm here." Zhongyi replied firmly, "I know you care about him, and personally, I have no problem with Jungo either. I know how many times he has protected our family, but you don't understand. He could become a threat to all humanity. If anyone else learns about his powers, the whole world will turn against him. And what if I'm right? What if Jungo truly is a monster? Then he would be in unimaginable danger. No human could stand against him." Aline immediately countered, "No, Zhongyi, you're wrong. Since the day Jungo arrived in the city, he's been fighting for us. Even when the citizens were running for their lives, he stayed back to help everyone. I believe with all my heart that Jungo is on our side. And if you want to harm him, you'll have to go through me first." Crying, Zhongji says, "I admit that Big Brother is a monster, But what if he's actually a good monster? Not every monster in this world is evil. There are good monsters too. Annoyed, both girls snap at him. Shut your mouth. You're talking nonsense here. Meanwhile, Jungo was thinking, they're having a side discussion about me. I should see what decision they make about me. Jong-yi speaks firmly. You all keep saying he helped us. But what if it was all an act? Did you forget? When we first found Golaith, he was just a child. He looked cute, harmless, like he was no threat to humanity. That's why we allowed him to live among us. But what happened in the end? Golaith lost control. He slaughtered everyone around him. He became so dangerous that he summoned even more monsters. All the children who trusted him, who considered him a friend, Golaith killed them too. He lived with humans for years. We treated him kindly. But in the end, he destroyed a huge part of the city. We had no choice but to capture him. No matter how much care we show a monster, they remain our enemy. And if we make the same mistake again, all humanity could pay the price. Millions of lives could be lost just to save one. So tell me, Aline, can you watch millions die just to protect him? This one is a monster. Can you really trust him? Aline remembers how Jungo always helped her, how he saved her the first time, how he protected the city, how he risked his life every time to save others. She thinks to herself, Jungo, I know you're not a threat, but I can't do anything here. Aline then says aloud, fine. If you've already decided not to listen to us, then do what you want. No matter how much we say Jungo is good, that he isn't a monster, you won't believe us anyway. So why even ask us? Do whatever you want. At that moment, Zhongyi activates the machine. Zhongyi recalls how, when everyone was trapped, it was Jungo who took responsibility to open the gates. He never thought of his own safety, he only thought of saving everyone. But then he also remembers Golaith, who once came as a friend, but revealed himself to be a monster and did exactly what monsters do. Can we trust Jungo? Is there any guarantee he won't do something terrible in the future? Shouting, Aline says, Zhongyi, let me remind you, when no one else stepped up to protect you, it was Jungo who took all the risks. He went outside the city just to help you. The reason you're alive today is because of Jungo. Your own people abandoned you, but Jungo didn't. If he hadn't been there, you would have died in that lab. And today, you're about to kill the very person who saved your life. If you kill Jungo now, you'll become the worst example of betrayal. The real monster won't be Jungo, it'll be you, for killing an innocent without proof. The person you're about to kill is the very reason you're breathing right now. You've forgotten that. And Zhongyi, I know you won't actually kill Jungo. If you wanted to, you would have done it already. You called us here because you wanted us to stop you. Admit it, you don't have the courage to hurt someone who has never harmed humanity. Stepping forward, Zhongji adds, yes, sister. If we do anything to Jungo today, humanity will be the one that loses. Finally, Zhongyi stops the machine. Zhongji smiles in relief. Finally, brother, you're safe. Aline thinks, convincing her was so difficult, but in the end, she stopped. Just then, Jungo stands up and says, thank you, all of you, for trusting me. Aline gasps, Jungo, when did you wake up? Jungo replies, I woke up a while ago. I was just listening to everything you said, and I'm truly happy that, in the end, you trusted me. Look, I can't explain where my powers came from, but know this, I will always stand on humanity's side. I will never betray you. Aline then says, everyone, remember one thing, no one should ever find out the truth about Jungo's body. This secret will always stay between the four of us. While they are talking, Aline receives a call. The caller says, Vice Captain, there's a problem. Please come to the hospital immediately. When they arrive at the hospital, they see many of Squad's men lying inside, badly injured. Shockingly, no one is taking care of them. They've been abandoned on the floor like orphans. One man reassures another, brother, don't worry. Someone will come soon to change your bandages. But another says angrily, who even cares about us? We risk our lives for them, and now they're leaving us to die. Frustrated, Aline thinks, all of them are seriously injured, and yet the doctors have abandoned them. What are these so-called doctors even doing? Just then, a soldier comes in, saying to a nurse, Nurse, I got a cut on my cheek. Heal me right now. The nurse, panicked, says, yes, I'll treat you immediately. In another room, soldiers are playing cards, laughing, and saying how much fun it is. Jungo notices that none of the military men have any real injuries, yet all the doctors are focused on serving them. Meanwhile, the squad members, who are gravely wounded and on the verge of death, are being completely ignored. From the side, an injured squad member pleads, Vice Captain, please help us. But a soldier grabs him and shouts, who gave you permission to use supplements? Without our approval, you can't take anything. All medical supplies are under military control, and we decide how to distribute them. Next time, don't use anything without asking us, or else the consequences will be severe. Angry, Jungo mutters, seeing this makes my blood boil. How can people treat others so cruelly? Zhongyi then steps in, saying, our family created these supplements to help extermination squad. Why won't you let them use them? The soldier replies coldly, I don't care who you are. Everything now belongs to the military, so we'll decide how it's used. At that moment, one squad member tears off his bandages, pulls out a dagger, and yells, bastard, you people won't let us live anyway. I'll kill you and die here myself. The soldier threatens him back, oh, so you're going to attack me? Before things escalate, Jungo punches the soldier hard and says, hand over the supplements right now. I don't care if you're from the military or anywhere else, if you get in my way, I won't hesitate to kill you. He snatches the supplements and gives them to the injured squad member. The soldier warns, you squad people have made a big mistake. Now you won't survive. But Jungo calmly says, sorry, I don't belong to any squad. I'm only helping because I want to. I was just passing by, and I didn't like your ugly face, so I decided to change its shape. As Jungo goes to attack again, another man grabs his hands. It turns out to be Major General Tablet of the city. Using his force, Tablet crushes Jungo's arms. Jungo thinks, this man is powerful, too powerful for me to fight. Tablet then slams him to the ground. Aline shouts, General, what are you doing? But Zhongyi warns her, don't step forward, Aline. They're trying to trap us. If you move, they'll attack us all together. Our squad members are already badly injured. We won't survive. Tablet then says, how dare you attack my soldier? Looks like you've grown too bold. For this mistake, I'm placing you under arrest. The scene shifts to the council. A squad member reports, all problems have been resolved, but the extermination squad has suffered heavily. Most of our members are badly injured, and we are in no condition to continue fighting. Unlike us, the military faced no difficulties. Angrily, the head of the Romanov family says, stop this nonsense. It doesn't matter how many people died. What matters is that our city is safe. Now that the crisis is over, we should immediately begin the selection tournament. There's no point in delaying it any further. He thinks to himself, the squad has suffered huge losses. In this condition, they won't be able to perform at all. This means we'll surely secure the first rank. He then declares, the tournament will be held tomorrow. Captain Haley protests, what are you saying? Tomorrow? Our people are seriously injured. How can they fight in a competition with such wounds? Your military soldiers fought from the backlands, while our squad did all the fighting. And now you're starting the tournament immediately? How are our people supposed to perform like this? Just then the commander Carey stops Haley. Haley says, Captain, after everything that's happened, how long are we supposed to keep putting up with this? The commander replies, calm down. The head of the Romanov family says, it seems no one here has any real problem with this. Fine, the tournament will start tomorrow. Major Tablet will be the examiner for tomorrow's matches. I expect this will cause no further trouble. Scene shifted. We see Tablet saying, so you're the one who kept our young master from performing in the competition. Finally I've got you. Today I'll teach you a lesson you won't forget. Make sure they're crippled for a year so they can't even stand up. Participating in the competition will be out of the question. Jungo thinks, if these people are injured, who will represent us in the competition? No matter what, I have to protect them. The soldiers step forward to attack. Jungo shouts angrily, you bastards, if you drank Fairlife milk then come and attack me. What will you gain by attacking them? Jungo thinks, I'm effectively immortal. No matter how much they beat me, I'll heal. But if they injure the others, we won't be able to do anything in the competition. A soldier sneers, you're tied up here and you're still arrogant. Today we'll crush that arrogance. They begin to beat Jungo. After a while he's severely wounded. The soldier says, if you'd kept your mouth shut, you wouldn't be taking this beating. Your foolish talk got you hurt. Cockroach God approaches and says, keep taking the beatings, Jungo. You couldn't absorb the Golath crystal before, but from these hits you're slowly absorbing it. Maybe the blows will stabilize your body and you'll gain some amazing new skills. Jungo snaps, maybe they don't feed you in the military. You have no strength in your blows, hit harder. Why are you hitting like you're wearing bangles? Annoyed, one man punches Jungo, and the others resume beating him. The other men watching think Jungo is taking the hits on purpose, that he's sacrificing himself so they can survive. Brother Jungo, we'll never forget this kindness. Soon, the beating leaves Jungo even more gravely injured. Bleeding, he asks, what's the matter? Out of breath already? Don't tell me that's all you can do. Honestly, that's nowhere near enough for me. For the next 5 minutes nobody attacks. Jungo wonders why they aren't attacking. Maybe they're frightened by his ability. He says, "I'm not feeling pain right now. Hit me more." A soldier asks in disbelief, "What are you made of? Why won't your body break?" At that moment Commander Carey breaks through the wall and enters. The soldiers panic and ask, "Commander, are you really here?" Aline calls out, "Release everyone right now." Tablet approaches and says, "Commander, you really are something. You're even more powerful than the stories. You're the strongest presence in the city. You broke through our city's most powerful prisons so easily." Tablet continues, "That's why I had your people arrested. They were causing trouble. You seem very angry. I already explained why we detained them. I hope you won't get angrier. We only brought them in to question them. We've questioned them and learned what we needed. There was a misunderstanding between us. Commander Carey, you may take your people and go. Before you leave, one thing, I've looked at everyone's faces here. The examiner for the next round will be none other than me. You'll have a very hard time there, so watch yourself. Especially you, Jungo." Later, everyone moves to the lab to rest. Aline says, "We weren't being treated at the hospital, so our people went to the Zhong family. The Zhong family members are now treating everyone. If they hadn't been here, we'd surely have all died by now. Seeing our people like this makes me so sad. We did nothing wrong. In the name of humanity we did everything we could, and yet the city treated us like this." Then Aline looks over, and Jungo was no longer on his bed. Aline asks, "Does anyone know where Jungo is?" Someone replies, "I saw Jungo on the rooftop. He looked really angry and was practicing punches." We then see Jungo on the roof, training with furious punches. He says to himself, "What's happening inside this city? The squad members are good people. They're ready to sacrifice their lives for humanity. And yet, why does the military hate them so much? Why do they always treat us like enemies? We risk our lives to defend this city, but still we're treated this way. Why are we protecting people who don't even value us? Maybe only when they lose us will they realize our true worth." The research on Golath had been helping everyone, but even then, they abandoned us and threw us out to die. How can people be so cruel? And why are we tolerating all this? If there's no place for us here, then we shouldn't stay. If these great families want to rule the city, then let them. There's no need to protect them anymore. I'm so angry right now. I feel like destroying them all. At that moment, Aline arrives and grabs Jungo's hand. Jungo asks, "Aline, what are you doing here?" Suddenly, Aline kisses him on the cheek. Blushing, Jungo thinks, "What just happened? Did Aline really kiss me?" Aline says, "Finally, you've calmed down. Come with me. Let's sit and have a drink together. I know you're angry. I am too. There's only one way to get rid of this anger. We need to drink a few rounds together." Later, while drinking, Jungo was lost in thought. A little while ago, did she really kiss me? Does this mean Aline likes me? But how can I be sure just from a single kiss? What if, after drinking, she asks me if we should live together? Should I say yes? Of course I'll say yes. Why would I refuse? Breaking his thoughts, Aline says, "Jungo, what are you thinking? I've been talking to you this whole time, but you haven't heard a word. That's why, as punishment, I'm giving you a punch." Jungo says, "Wait, I did hear you. Then why are you punching me?" Aline replies, "If you heard me, then good. Listen carefully, drop out of the competition immediately. I don't want you to participate in the second round." Jungo was shocked. "What? You want me to quit halfway? Why are you saying this?" Aline explains, "I can tell you weren't really listening earlier. Let me make it clear now. The military only has one problem with us. They want to be the only force in the city. As long as both the military and the squad exist, power is divided, and they can't control the city completely. That's why they want to destroy our squad. That's also why the examiner for the second round is from the military. They already tried to kill you before the competition. If you enter the tournament, they will definitely kill you. Please listen to me and don't participate. Besides, we both know the squad has no future. Day by day, our members are dying. We've become too weak. This is already a battle we've lost. Dying in it now has no meaning. That's why I'm asking you to stay away from this. Don't join the squad. Don't get dragged into this mess. We're already suffering because we belong to the squad. I don't want trouble falling on you as well." Jungo responds, "And that's exactly why I can't step back. I'll never abandon my friends in their time of trouble." Aline snaps, "Jungo, you're such a fool. Why don't you understand? Our squad has no chance. If not today, then tomorrow, we'll all be killed. And if you join us, they'll destroy you too. As long as we keep enduring their abuse, they'll leave us alone. But the moment we fight back, that will be the day they wipe us out completely. And I know you're not the kind of man who can live quietly in submission. That's why I'm begging you, please, leave this rotten world. Stay away from this dirty political struggle. I don't want to drag you into it. Jungho thinks to himself, she's truly broken, everything that's happened has hurt her deeply. Later, as Aline drinks more, she falls asleep. Even in her sleep, she murmurs, Jungho, please listen to me. Don't participate in this competition. You have strength. Wherever you go, you'll survive. You don't need to stay in a place like this. I only want you to be happy always. Jungho sits silently, thinking, what should I do? Should I listen to Aline, or should I fight back for everyone's sake? What Jungho will decide, we'll see in the next episode. Thank you for watching and stay tuned.